Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was watching on the live stream because I was sending the link of Discord, and I hadn't realized that it started. There we go. Hey, everybody, how you
I'm
guys
so
doing?
used to like a cue of you starting to read the title for me to flip back tabs in it that I was in another tab doing something while I waited for the music to end and for you to give me my audio cue to check back.
I had to open it in a YouTube tab because I was sending the link in the Static Discord. I didn't notice it
Damn
had
it.
started, so just sitting there
Oh,
gormlessly looking at my face.
we're
Hello,
doing great.
everybody, and welcome to Static episode 152. It is the 9th of September 2025, and this episode is titled Valor Strike Me Down. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things today, but mostly it'll be the new Knights book because, God, I wanted to name this episode something about the data slate, like waiting for data slato or something like that, just going real niche with the literary references. But Cliff tells me we have to start making slightly more serious titles.
And when Business Daddy tells you what to
When
do,
Cliff
you
tells us
do
to do
what
something, we
Business
just do
Daddy
it.
tells you to
Cliff
do.
was like, Ines, you're going to start making Codex reviews. And I was like, yes, Cliff. And then Cliff's like, you need to make slightly more serious titles. I'm like, yes, Cliff. Because Cliff is scary. And I'm terrified of him, frankly.
A healthy fear of your CEO is always proper, right?
Exactly. Like, Cliff's Cliff's too much of an adult for me to like disappoint him. It'd break my heart.
You, you would rather disappoint your dad before disappointing Cliff is
No,
a
my dad is
very
also terrifying. Let's
oh
not even
damn.
remotely begin. I hope everybody's doing well today. We are here to have a bit of a chat about the game. We do not have stats, unfortunately. Jeremy is still working on them, so we'll do our best to talk about a little bit of what's been going down. But you can broadly presume it's more of the same. But before we get into that, Nathan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I am really working hard on getting this 20-man Blood Claw squad built and painted so that I can put them on the table with some other stuff later this month. My plan is to do Ringer at an RTT that I'm helping run on the 28th, and then to play them in one of these monthly GTs that Chicago somehow magically started up at a call for the Second City GTs for October is kind of the plan. So I'm going to try to play in a GT in October with this stuff. Not with Knights. I could probably get Knights up and running quicker, but with Space Wolves because I've been having a lot more fun with them. Playing Knights has been fun, and I do enjoy big robot time, but I don't know. We'll see. I have some practice games scheduled for
You
this week.
make me sad, just in general.
Why
Just
do I make
being
you
a Knight
sad?
player, it's an uncontrollable disease that
I said literally 2 seconds ago that I was going to play Space Wolves.
I know, but you're still a Knight player, right? Like in your soul, you've become a Knight player.
Look, when my army has only 10 minis in it and it's very easy to transport, it's very hard to not paint that army.
Well, Anthony convinced me to do something stupid, so I've been building and painting up some lovely
Oh, is that a
World
Blood
Eaters.
Crusher? Is that a Juggernaut? Oh, that's great.
Or on Juggernaut. Yeah, Anthony was
I
like,
do
you should try
love
World
that.
Eaters, so I'm trying World Eaters. I'm very, very malleable, is what I've learned.
I feel like it will scratch like an itch for you to be
Yeah,
true.
I've been playing a few
Because
games with the 20-man with the 6-inch poly consolidation and all that kind of stuff, and just being like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I enjoy this. Plus, I get the vector shooting phase thing. So I get to go, no, Blood Surge, you sure you want to shoot me? And then they go no, and I go sick, and we move on with our lives. It's great. It's actually my favorite way to play Warhammer.
is to cyclically browbeat people with your own
Yeah.
rules.
You're
Be like,
not allowed to shoot me is my favorite ability.
I mean,
Or
fair and
you
reasonable.
can shoot me very carefully.
Very carefully.
Yeah,
The
very
best
carefully.
kind of.
Shout out to the game I played today where my opponent was very, very careful about stopping the Blood Surge until I removed casualties and Blood Surge into something else. Sorry, Sam, you didn't deserve that to happen to those. And then immediately after that, the Juggerlord and the one guy charged a brick of 6 dev cents and lifted it.
Oh, that's
which
impressive.
Was...
that doesn't sound like that's how that's supposed to work at all.
I had sustained hits and dev wounds up, and the Juggerlord just went in and was like, I went +1 AP on them. The Juggerlord just went, what if I rolled 4 sustains and then 4 dev wounds? And I was like,
What?
yeah, okay, yeah, that'll kill them.
That
And
will rolling sixes is definitely a way to live and a tactic
the
in
worst
life.
part was actually the solo guy, the one last power fist guy, going in with his 4 attacks, handing him 5 AP 3 damage 2 saves, and him failing all of them and dying.
You know, sometimes you don't need to be good in this. You can just dice luck your
Entirely a
opponent.
skill issue. Now, was that slightly at odds with, I was flipping his home objective, Shrike and 10 Vanguard veterans were on my home objective. Like, it's swings and roundabouts. Shadowmark, very fun detachment as well. Definitely also on my short list. I'm not actually sure what I want to play for tournaments right now, but because like Shadowmark is pretty fun, World Eaters are pretty fun. I'm taking Grey Knights to Eurotrash Open this weekend. So yeah, just like bouncing around a bunch of different things right now and just mostly waiting for the data slate. We can chat a bit about what Eurotrash Open during the upcoming stuff as well. Pen Jurek, member for 8 months, asks, "What order would you take on your Warhound Titan?" Let me go and look up the Warhound Titan data sheet, Ben.
It's two of the
no,
big flamers.
I'm gonna read them all aloud.
Oh,
and we're gonna chat.
I guess.
So I can have any 2 of Plasma Blast Guns, Vulcan Mega Bolters, Inferno Guns, and Turbo Laser Destructors. So I can either on my 1100 point model, I can have 2 guns, which is great. I already feel like a Tyraniid data sheet where I don't get any ability to kill like a thing that isn't like, you need to kill 2 scouts in front of you on that objective. Sick, dude. You're putting the Plasma Blast Gun at it. Okay, do you want 3d6 shots at 723, ignores cover torrent, 2d6 plus 3 shots at 934 or 1035 with hazardous, with blast, d3 plus 3 shots at 23 2d6 with the turbo laser destructor, or 20 shots at 612 sustained hits 1? Well, the Vulcan Mega Bolter sounds bad. AP1 does not sound fun.
That sounds rough.
I like the idea of the Plasma Blast Gun being 934. It's just a solid baseline profile. 1035 goes well. I feel like Turbo Laser Destructor plus Warhound Inferno Gun is where I would want to go.
Honestly, that's probably the best balance.
Big flamer plus big gun. You can kill a vehicle and a unit in front of you. That's the best you're gonna get, I think.
I think the hardest part about this is isn't it higher CP cost to use anything on this one?
Twice.
Yeah, it's 2 CP to CP reroll the shots on that 3d6 casino cannon
that's
of
fine.
a flamer gun, but that's okay.
Like, your goal is to kill 5 scouts with it, and then none of the other guns do that reliably, and while also doing something. And then it also lets you get yourself out of a combat if you get tagged, which you're going to get tagged. The thing's the size of a house.
It's true. I think honestly, the Warhound Titan, if you just do those 2 weapons, might be able to do its job modestly okay.
If you played 1100 points of a good army alongside it, yeah, I could see going 3 and 3, an event like LVO, right, as Tyler Russo did.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to be the guy doing it, but
yeah, it does auto move 22 inches apparently because it auto advances 8 inches.
Yeah, but it doesn't have advance and shoot.
It doesn't, which is a problem. It should have assault on its weapons as well. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it should also have a melee weapon that's better than 8 attacks at strength 10, AP1, damage 2.
It does feel like it should be higher than AP1, but that feels like also makes it's a Tyraniid data sheet. Yeah. It is literally a Tyraniid data sheet. Look at all these guns, and then look at my 10 attacks at AP1.
It's 2 Tyraniid data sheets stapled together with the melee profile of 1 of them.
Exactly.
And the defensive profile of 4 of them.
You're not allowed to have any weapons over AP1.
How many Fire Dragons do you think it takes to 1-tap this?
Squad of 5.
Given that it only has a 5 vulnerable save.
Oh, yeah.
Range.
It's got 40 wounds and a 2 of base. It's definitely a squad of 5.
It's also base movement 14, which means it's fast. It's slower than a Valor Strike Imperial Knight. So,
yes, it is, and doesn't get assault on its weapons when it advances and moves 22 inches across the table at you.
Cringe as hell, right? What would you play as your 900 points alongside that thing?
I have a hankering for another knight, just to keep going knight, smallest knight.
Cannot be the right answer.
It's not the right answer, but it is the funniest answer.
You need 1 knight, 1 Armigar, and then an Imperial agent's. You need Agent Inquisitor Kamerzov, and then a Terminator, and then a Space Marine.
Yeah, just to have every layer of armor going up vertically. I know you can't do it, but it is very funny.
Yeah, Kamerzov doesn't exist anymore. What a heartbreaker! That guy's primed, right? When we get out of past the codex, right? They announced the Drakari codex recently. which is the last codex of the edition, because Deathwatch and Demons aren't getting one, from what they've said.
I think Alex has the right of it of Warhound tonight to single Marine to Nurgling, and you can do that in Chaos.
Yeah, but that's pretty cringe. Okay, so hear me out. Once they drop into the we're doing extra stuff. Oh God.
Anthony heard us talking about Warhound Titans and was
What'd
like,
you
"We're
say?"
not doing this shit."
No, I actually didn't hear a thing. We decided Pickles is okay, so we're home.
We're talking about
glad
Warhound
Pickles is
Titans.
okay.
What your
Titans.
ideal 900 points. So Ben did a membership thing. So what's the 900 points you would run alongside a Warhound Titan?
Demon allies? You can do it in Chaos,
You can
right?
do it in Imperium or Chaos. It's up to you.
Yeah, just like shit. Just whatever has the most.
1 Playbearer squad, 2 Flash Out squads, 2 Beast Nurgle, 2 Nurglings.
Sure, maximal garbage.
Because you've already got garbage.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony.
Yay! Woo! You
And
told
then
people you've been
there's
playing
another.
the Eaters.
There's a full squad of 20 Corn Berserkers on the shelf there, and then there's another 20 in the garage. And
I have them just like coming out of the walls, dude. I can pull them out of the ether. They're just always around me.
I love that your background is fogged, so it does just look like you're pulling them out of the ether.
Yeah, that's on purpose. It's a mess behind me.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
We don't want you getting judged in the YouTube comments again.
No. Someone called me homeless that one time. I still think about it once in a while.
Sorry, I'm glad Anthony's here. You heard we were talking about the new night rules, and he's like, "Oh God, I'm here."
I don't actually have anything to say about that.
Well, you're going to, because we're going to do a full segment on it. So.
Oh God! All right, I'll just leave and play Night Rain when you guys are going to do that.
That is the truest review that we could get from Anthony of the new night rules.
Anthony,
I'd
how you
rather
been,
play Night Rain.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. The new job is dope. Been doing that for 2 days. So that's been good. I haven't really done much 40K stuff. Past like the occasional bit of coaching. I've played, I think, 1 game for myself. I have played 3 AOS games, so write that down. And that's it.
What are you Lord of the Rings or something?
I was playing Flesh Eater Courts in AOS. The Lord of the Rings dream kind of died when it takes as long as 40K to play. And also, broadly, it seems like their community is super fine with an answer to a game being difficult, being just wait till the round ends, bro.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I'm surprised you're not playing the insanely broken character detachment for Khorne. It seems right up your street.
They already nerfed that. I was planning to, but
that was fast.
Yeah, they shot that right in the face in the first available FAQ. So Flesh Eater Courts it is for you, boy.
What did they change about it? For anyone who doesn't know, the way that rule worked was everything in your army got a 4-up feel no pain, and then a 5-up when it died, it just didn't and lived at 1 wound that was not once per phase or once per game or limited in any way, shape, or form.
Nope. It also is so all right, let's slow this down a little bit. Sigmar is not an activation dense game, at least with how the meta is currently built, in my understanding. Like the list that won Tacoma or whenever that was like 6 units. So the AOR for Khorne being 18 units that had like 6 wounds with a 3-up armor save, which is really good in that game, and like 4-up feel no pain, and then get back up and they die, and then all of it has crit more like imagine devastating wounds but on the hit roll with damage that spills, because that's how that works in that game. It was really fucking stupid. It had like an 85% win rate or something completely asinine. Like if you lost, it was like on purpose. Like you had to have fucked up on purpose to lose.
Even Harlequins at peak light never hit 80%.
No, it's a complete joke. So they took it out back and they were like, all right, fuck this, and then it's dead now. So now the Khorne book is bad. So I also found out I had more models for Flesh Eater Courts than I do for the Khorne stuff anyway. So instead,
you play with a Shoran.
Yes, I'm going to use a Shoran, and I also get to use this king, the Terror Ghoul Geist boy.
Is that a new one or the old one?
This is the bat is the old one. So
Nice, because that new zombie dragon model is fucking.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane. The
amazing.
whole Soulblight Gravelords line, insane. They did such a good job. But yeah, they put a thing in the Flesh Eater courts that's like this little shit cardinal, right? He's a little gore pope, and he comes out and he goes, excommunicated! And he points at a bad guy and casts his prayer using cool guy points that he built up the turn before from casting his prayer, right? So it goes off on a 10, and you point at someone, you're like, fuck that guy. And the guy that you're like, fuck that guy to, cannot positively improve their armor save or roll Feel No Pains. So you just point at something. And in that game, Feel No Pain and improving your save are very important.
Or defensive mechanic of.
Yeah, real important shit. So just pointing at someone and being like, fuck you. And then you just dome them and they die immediately. Basically, everything that's meant to be like the tanky thing in the game just explodes instantly if you do that. So that's been pretty funny. There's almost no mechanic in any game I like more than fuck your defensive mechanic. That's my favorite thing to do in any game.
And that's
good
why
old,
you play Reaper of Obliterax.
yeah, a good old ignore invuln, some Reaper of Obliterax action, you name it, I'm there for like, I'm so tough. No, you're not. Pow. So that's been pretty
I'm
fun.
loving that.
Hell
They
yeah,
also
dude.
put Fight Last is still in that game too. So shout out to that. Love me a tiered fight phase. That shit is good. Fight first, fight normal, fight last. It's good.
Bring back
So-
initiative, baby.
You could do that. The fight last thing is more simple and fun from my
Significantly,
perspective.
yeah. But
Yeah.
somehow people still got confused by it. So
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward by the end, but it was easier to explain than what I'm doing in the charge phase in 10th. So
Yeah. There's a number of people whom they're like, I charge though. I'm like, but this unit has fights first. And they're like, but that doesn't make any sense. My unit also has fights first. And it's like, look.
I mean, I meant more when I'm like, I'm going to charge here and then I'm going to pile in here. So I don't know if Innes has talked about the experience of the world eating.
yeah, where
yet.
you're just like, that guy there is near things. Dumbass.
It's a mess, dude. Trying to walk people through where the Juggernaut 20s can go is it's so hard it might as well be a gotcha to explain it. Like it's worse that way.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to do some shit, and you're just going to have to trust me.
Yeah. Oh, not even that. I mean, like in the opponent's turn when they're like finishing moving, right? You're like, all right, now listen. Because of how you moved, these things can happen. I think doing that in that scenario often will be more like detrimental to
You're
them.
just causing them psychic damage in their movement phase while
Yeah.
they're still going.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to cause like physical damage to them in a second anyway.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to Lord of the Rings someone, just explain how World Eater's movement works.
Oh, it's bad. The 20s are wee.
So what is the combination of things that we're talking about? Just so like I can know. Because I haven't looked at a 20 mana berserkers in a while.
So a 20 mana berserkers, specifically led by a Juggernaut, specifically while you have pile and console 6 up, is a mess. So it's a big old 20 block of dudes that go up to being base movement 10 because of the homeboy. They're trying to sprint to keep up with the man's horse. This unit can advance and charge when you play it in the good detachment, right? So it goes 10 plus d6 and then charges, right? The other rule that Homeboy has is that he provides to his unit is that while the unit is in engagement range with you, any individual dude makes it to engagement range of your unit, then the rest of the unit can fight you from 3 inches away.
Okay.
That, combined with Pile Console 6, just makes nightmare-fueled nonsense woohoo happen.
And also notably charge through walls and crates and models. And...
Oh yeah, they zip through crates, which on WTC matters a bunch.
I rolled a 1-inch advance in a game today and missed wrapping my opponent's lone up lieutenant. He was like, he'll be safe there. He'll reactive away. And I rolled a 1 on the advance and I couldn't quite surround him, so he couldn't reactive away. I was like, I'm not CP rerolling it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty silly. I mean, honestly, at that point, he's going to reactive away, and then you're going to charge him anyway, and you're going to go
exactly.
Yeah, it's very silly.
I like
Yeah.
it. That sounds amazing.
It moves far. It moves a lot. When it's good, it's great. You play against a dude with a despoiler, and an activation picks up a quarter of your army, and you're sad.
I did lose a full squad of 21 to the dev sent unit.
Yeah.
It was not close.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna
he
be.
rolled his shots. And he was like, started counting. I'm like, bro, add 20. He's like, and it's gonna be. I'm like, 37.
Yeah, yeah. I lost a 20-man once to just like a noise marine unit with a cacophonist, just like the whole thing, and I was like, that's not all right. Whatever.
I had the
There's some
pleasure of
math
playing
there.
against veterans of the Long War Warp Talons. They walked up in front of me. He shot me with a noise marine squad. I blood surged into the Warp Talons, and he went, "Fight first. Fuck you."
That's funny. That's pretty good. That's
I was
cool.
like, I can't not blood surge. What am I gonna do? Just get shot by the next unit?
Yeah, I mean, at least make them
At least
spend
they'll
the
spend
command
2
points.
CP here.
Yeah,
You're just like, I'm gonna try and fight on death and kill 6 of these guys on the way out.
yeah. I mean, you'll get a bunch of them. That's that's the.
Hey, if you hit 4s on the fists, it's 100%.
Oh yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're just
the-
like 7 chain swords,
I mean,
less likely.
yeah, no. I mean, then you'll kill what 2 or something, right? Like, it's not crazy. It's just enough. The army-wide fight on death is enough that after you hit me, you're usually in like tatters, and then I'm like, all right, I'll clean that up.
Yeah, now Angron doesn't have to chase tails. He can actually do something real.
Right. Spawn can kill that one man.
The Rhino will get it eventually.
The Rhino might get it just in one. Rhinos are awesome. The World Eater Rhino.
The
is
Rhino
shit.
might spend 1 CP for plus 1 AP to go and chase those 2 guys down.
Oh yeah, I'll
Good.
use that. I'll use that strat on a Rhino if I'm fighting like aspects or something. Fuck those nerds. Yeah.
1 CP tank shock, kill a unit, pile into a second one, punch it to death.
I've never had it go that hard, but it
Yeah, me
could
neither,
in
but-
theory.
It could do that
It could do.
theoretically. Yeah.
Are you?
You shoot him first with your 12 shots of bolters.
This is where we find out if we're gonna remain friends. Ennis, are you playing your bolter with the combi weapon or not?
No.
Ugh. Wrong answer.
But it only gets 2 shots.
That's okay. It can dev. That's sick. Dev is awesome.
dev.
So
I don't know. My
incidental
models
shooting, I
have
suppose,
combi
dev is
weapons,
just
so they'll
better.
probably end up getting combi weapons. But
Yeah.
in principle, I like the idea of having 12 shots.
It doesn't matter. It'll bait you into shooting when you shouldn't with the Rhino. That's what's gonna happen. You'll be like, it'll clear those rangers,
No,
and
no,
then it won't. And then
Hold
you'll...
on. Let's not go that far. I know what rhinos do, and rhinos don't do that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna get you.
All
All right. As for me, what have I been doing? Yeah, playing a bunch of Warhammer. I'm the Scotland captain again.
Yay! Woo!
Things
Congrats!
happened.
Congratulations.
No one else ran.
That's hilarious.
Everyone else was just like, "Hey, this is gonna do it again." Yeah, all right,
reminds
fair
me.
enough. So that's been my last couple of days. Has mostly been dealing with the onset of that. So going to be starting all the applications and WTC preparation and organizing teams for events already. And we already have like 6 events to turn down that we've been invited to. You know, the usual. It's like, you got invitations from this country, this country, this country, and this country to come to events. I'm like, guys, we don't have a team yet. What? No, what? The event's next month.
Yeah.
And then we're doing Eurotrash this weekend. So I don't think lists are technically up yet, but I'm just gonna tell you what our team is because our team's fun. So we have myself playing Warpbane Grey Knights with a Storm Raven because I felt like it. The Storm Raven's so fun in Warpbane. It's the only thing with any juice in that book. But you know what?
I mean,
Warpane's still pretty good.
it fucking dunks, dude. It's got oaths, and most of its weapons are twin linked. That shit hurts.
Yeah, and then you just like jump 10 purifiers out of it, or 5 purifiers out of it and give it 4 rerolls. We have Pau from Team Germany playing, I want to say just playing Drakari. At one point he was considering playing Chaos Cult, but he's just playing Drakari. Same thing he played W. We have Malta playing his from Team Germany playing his 30 Scaraboccle Terminators.
30nators, dude. Hell yeah.
We have Gito playing Star Shatter from previously of Team Poland. We have Typhus playing, I want to say Bringers of Flame 3 Exorcists because nothing ever changes.
There was a half,
Wait a second.
There was a half
Is
second
time a
there.
flat circle.
There was a second there where I thought you were gonna say Gito was playing Sisters, and I was like, what? But no.
We have Gustavo from Team Portugal, who I believe is playing Guard. We have Nassim from Team England, who is playing Emperor's Children. And we have
You guys let
Nathan
Nas
Roberts.
play EC? Oh.
Nathan Roberts playing Chaos Knights.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It's gonna be
That's
a
a
good,
lot of
good
stat
fun
check
time. So
personality.
we're expecting there's 2 really solid German teams going, a couple of really good Dutch teams, and also Team Ignite, who are obviously our sworn rivals. You know, we've conquered, we beat our war now. They don't get to be our rivals anymore. It's Ignite now.
It's Ignite. It's Ignite with half our team.
Yeah, exactly. Ignite with all the people that we developed into real players, and now they've gone to go play with Ignite. Hey, look, it's Ignite's first ever 8-man. You know, we gotta welcome them gently to the fold, right?
Yeah, they got this.
Who's on Ignite's 8-man?
It is Myson, Vic, David, Myson. So Patrick, Mike, Myson, Vic, VJ, David Gaylord, Brian Sipe, Lewis Smith, Chris Radford, Boris Michev, and
Tall.
Oh, Liam VSL. Yeah, of course.
Liam VSL is on Ignite instead of on our team?
That's the team he plays for. He plays for
Son
Ignite.
of a-
And our coach,
feel
Thomas Verkoyen, has just
slighted.
messaged us saying, "Where'd you get the idea there'd be some good Dutch teams? I know the Dutch guys, and no, there's not." So,
Well,
yeah, I'm very excited to see Typhus playing Triple Exorcist. Just the sheer raw fear that man's Exorcists do more damage than anyone else's, and they also drive further than anyone else's.
I love it. I don't know. I'm very
See, now
amused
Thomas
that
is messaging me
Sisters
saying
is
he's gonna get hurt. Don't shit chat your friends in my DMs while the show's live if you don't want me to snitch on you.
Oh, jeez. Everybody is. Oh no, that'll be great.
I'm excited
I'm gonna
to
love
see
that.
Typhus as Triple Exorcist because I've never seen an Exorcist more aggressive than Typhus is.
no,
How
they
many
live
times
on
did
his
Champs
opponent's
Cup did he
home
come over
field.
just be like, "Yeah, my Exorcist terraformed their home objective," or some
Yeah,
shit like
he's
that.
a capture enemy outpost with the Exorcist type of guy.
I'm loving that. I won't lie. I love the idea of the Exorcist being like, I could indirect, but why?
I mean, it's a pretty good direct fire platform, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it's a bad Vindicator, but it's bad Vindicator is still pretty good when it's got Miracle Dice.
Yeah.
True. Every 6 is a save sometimes with that miracle die.
Every 6 is 6 damage. Thank you. Typhus doesn't
Yeah,
believe in anything
also
else.
true. Fair and reasonable, but
How many?
right.
Typhus just looking over, asking, "How many wounds has Death Shroud?" As he picks up the smallest dice that appropriately kills one model.
Look, miracle dice are great when you just need it to be like, look, it just has to do the exact amount of damage I want.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Christ.
I'm gonna quickly summarize the stat situation for the weekend because we don't have full stats, just to say that nothing has changed and everything is still the same.
And everything's not quite on fire, but really close to being on fire.
I will say that Grey Knights, I think, did win one of the larger events over the weekend, though. So there's that, right?
Was it Warpbane?
It was Banishers.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. That 31% win rate detachment when I did the review video.
Otherwise, it's like Firestorm won a big event, and Thousand Suns won a big event in Mexico, and I think that's, I don't know. I'm not going to go through all the stats, but it looks like, Eldari are still doing fine. They had 3 event wins. Thousand Suns had 3 event wins. That's kind of just what's going on.
Doesn't had 3 event wins?
That's a lot.
It's a lot for an army with like 7 players.
World Leaders won a GT. Congratulations, Danny.
yeah.
Woo!
There you go.
Let's go down.
And then Votan didn't win one in their release weekend, even though Jeremy tried real hard and went 5-1 at his event, losing only to the event winner. So good job, Jeremy.
Well done, Jeremy. And that's probably why he's fast asleep right now.
Probably, honestly. GTs are exhausting. I think that one was like 4 one day and 2 the next day as well. So it was like 4 games in one day and then 2 the next, that can be a brutal schedule for 6 games as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Shall we? I didn't.
Sorry.
Just to answer Paint Celestine's question, I didn't look that closely. Sorry. But I'll take a look later.
David thinks Tim won an event with Delve, and maybe.
I didn't see anything. If it's not a GT-sized event,
It might have been a German event, which means it might not be in
Wanna
the easily accessible data set.
I want to say he got
Yeah.
second.
I will take a look, though, and I will correct myself later, David, if I'm wrong.
I trust Anthony.
I also trust Anthony.
that
He
was
came
very
second.
like
He did go undefeated, but he did finish second.
boom.
Also, Jeremy is suffering from the consequences of his actions via chronic pain, is what he's saying in chat, just so folks know. Yep, he finished second. Ha ha.
That was pretty
There
great.
you go.
I'm a big fan of that detachment, having played against it a couple times now.
The event is called the Bedburger German word.
Shonen
Good luck with
Shonen-
that next
Shonen-
one.
Schunenkluppen, I think. But
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
that.
Look, there's a reason why I'm going to England next week and not to Germany. It's because I can pronounce. No, I can't. That's not true, even slightly.
Yeah.
Every time that there's like a Wooster or something like that, I'm like, that's not how that's spelled.
That means barn bashing or barn beating. I think.
Nice. Perfect. Sick.
Amazing. All right. Let's talk about knights. So we
All
can
right.
get it out and be done.
We're
with
going to
it.
do a new thing. We're going to talk about the book and we're going to just kind of run through it. And you guys can judge based on Anthony's responses and reactions to how you feel about this book. So there you go. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So let's start off with the army rule. So the army rule previously used to be you basically picked either +1 to advance and charge, and if you flipped your opponent's home objective, you got 3 CP and honored, and then the other turn of them was reroll a hit and wound, and if you killed your opponent's warlord, you got honored. Pretty reasonable. That you remember when it was reroll one to hit and wound, and everyone was like,
that was good.
"No, it must mean reroll all ones to hit and wound," and we were all like, "No," and they were like, "Yeah, it does," and then Gino were like, "No, it doesn't," and then they made it reroll a hit and wound, and now I'm very sad.
I didn't realize until like shamefully late in this Imperial Knights Codex review process that they just start with the buff. They just have that shit. And then if they succeed there, whatever the fuck,
Yeah,
they
just get 2 CP. That's all they get.
command
They
points.
start with it and they get 2 CP if they finish it.
I was astounded to learn that. Being able to just be like, I am the best part of Creations of Bile. Anyway, the rest of my shit. It's like, what?
Yeah. So basically, the army rule now is you pick a deed and a quality. If you achieve the deed, you gain 2 CP, and you always get the quality, and then you become honored. It is 2 CP if you pick them, and if you randomly select either of them, it's 3 CP.
Why
Wait,
would
if you randomly select either, it's not both?
So you could theoretically pick the quality and random the deed if you just really wanted the CP.
But then you have
and
to,
you were, like,
if you really wanted
to get any of them, but
if you really wanted the CP, surely you would just pick
Just
the
pick
one
two.
that's
Yeah, no,
easier and be
I'm not
okay
saying
with.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying you could. It's not. It's random one or both for some reason.
Okay.
If you randomly set your deed and or quality.
Also,
so
all the deeds are pretty easy to
the
achieve.
deeds are. One of them is kind of difficult. Kind of difficult in a general sense, which is the second one, I think.
Yeah.
So it's one, pick a character, kill it, sick. Get your deed. Get your deed. The second one is at the end of your opponent's turn, control more objectives than your opponent, which I think can be difficult if your opponent's like playing the game with you, and should be difficult. And then kill more units than the battle round, which scores at the end of the battle round.
Which is kill 2 units in turn 1, which seems achievable.
Yeah, kill 2 units turn 1, kill 3 units turn 2, etc., etc. It gets harder as the game goes. The only other thing with that one as well, if you go first, you don't get them straight away. You get them at the end of the battle round, whereas the character one you would get immediately into your opponent's turn. So you could theoretically have more defensive strats up if you picked the first one.
Also, you
which
could just
can be relevant.
dome the units that the enemy uses to screen you from
Yes,
killing
for
them in their DZ, and then be like, "Thanks for the command points, nerd.
Yeah.
Off we
I'll
go."
get them in a turn and a half, but you don't have any. You're in your deployment zone. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then the qualities, the reroll a hit and wound remains as it was. +2 to move, +1 to advantage. I believe it was just +1 to move before, and it's been
It was
changed.
+2 to.
Was it +2 to move? That's good. No one's ever picked it against me and had it be
well.
good. No, it
No,
was +1 to
both
move
those
and
things.
+1 to
Nobody took it,
advance
though.
and charge.
Hold up. Ashley
It's
has a good
now
point.
+2.
It's not per round. It's total. The kill thing is cumulative.
Oh. Interesting. That's cool. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Number of units killed relative to. Yeah, no, it's cumulative,
Sure.
bud.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
bad.
Yeah, I
don't
It's,
like that.
it's badly worded.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. So it was
That's-
previously +1 to move advance and charge. It is now +2 to move advance and charge. So they did buff that
Okay.
It's
one.
wait.
It's +1 to advance and charge. It's
Oh,
+2 to
okay.
move.
I was like, hold on.
+2 to move,
It's-
+1 to advance and charge. Yeah, it was previously
Yeah.
Got
+1
it.
to all three.
Okay.
And then the last one is improve this model's OC by 2 and leadership by 1. Hilariously, this just puts them back to where they used to be for OC.
You just
And
request
this
that.
is not the one you'll pick.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing Quest of Companions, in which case you'll probably end up getting it, because it's not like the other ones are hard. The other stuff is basically not changed. Bondsmen still have the data slate nerf where they affect armigers only. Super heavy walker still lets them go through walls, and free blade still exists.
Yeah.
I think it's probably better to touch on the data sheets first and then kind of run through the detachments with a bit more context on them. So let's
Yeah.
start with the interesting ones. So most of them haven't changed a ton from the Codex. The Castellan is basically unchanged. The Valiant, I believe, got nerfed for some fucking reason. Its gun got its like special rule got worse, which definitely needed to happen.
Let's be honest. You're gonna play the Defender, some of the Cerastus, the Small Knights, Canis if you're feeling froggy.
I think the Paladin's pretty solid now as well.
Is it though? Who
The
cares?
Castigator is fun. I like the
That's a
Castigator.
Cerastus Knight.
That's the rest.
Okay, fair.
Okay,
Fair
so
enough.
the Paladin
Sorry.
still hands out the bondsman of lance and lethal and gets +1 AP against the closest target at range, which does mean you push that battle cannon to AP2, which we have seen in Chaos Knights being pretty powerful. And then there's a bunch of ways to get ignore cover in this book. The Errant now gives reroll advance rolls, and assault, which is just the most useless rule in the context of this book.
Yeah.
The Gallant
Gallant
reroll charges.
hilariously consolidates an additional 3, which means you can, I believe, get it to a 9-inch consolidation, which is quite funny.
Yes.
The Warden now gives out sustained hits and ignore cover as bondman, which is actually kind of cool. That's the one that's
It is
also on the
quite good.
Castigator, and the Castigator is just better than the Warden because it gets
Cascader's extra AP. Yeah.
the Castigator is +1 AP and sustained hits, which is just better than ignores cover, and its gun is twin linked, where the Warden's is not.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're the same gun. It still gets dev wounds against vehicles and monsters, though, which is still, or against non-vehicle monsters. The Crusader still gets out +1 to hit and sustained hits for itself. The Defender is the new data sheet. This thing's stupid.
I love the Defender. It's so good.
So the Defender has the standard Imperial Knight chassis, movement 10, toughness 11, 3-up save, 4 up invulnerable save, not standard. 4 up invulnerable save against ranged only. So this one's just got always on rotate iron shields. 26 wounds, leadership 6, OC 8. Its data sheet rule, its bondsman is -1 damage, and then it has the rule called Selfless Protector, which I've seen some very stupidly modeled Knight Defenders already. And the reason for that is that each type of ranged attack is allocated to an Imperial Knight model from your army. If that model is not fully visible to every model in the attacking unit, because of this Knight Defender model, that model has the benefit of cover and a 4+ invulnerable save against this attack. So the Knight Defender is just a bit of terrain that hands out a 4 invulnerable save, like we're playing 7th edition. And that's
I have
stupid.
a feeling that judge calls for this model are going to be obnoxious for modeling purposes because somebody is definitely going to model it.
I've already
maximally
seen one
possible
that's
for-
modeled just like full on doing this at maximum distance while on like half an inch of basing cork.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those moments where somebody's gonna call a judge over and make me look at a model and be like, what are we doing?
You just pick up the model, right? I
Yeah,
feel like if
you
someone
just-
made me do that as a judge, I'd be like, and surprise, that
You actually
shit's
don't
dead
have a
now.
Knight Defender. Yeah.
Bye. Congrats.
Surprise,
it's not giving
surprise.
anybody anything.
All right. And
Guys,
then
we're using
of
the
course,
base for your model from now on.
No, we're just not using it. Bloop.
That's
Gone.
to make up for that, it does have terrible weapons, of course, as every knight does.
fair. Yeah, it does terrible weapons.
So it has the
Oh,
conversion beam
awful.
obliterator, which, to be fair, cool fucking name.
mhm.
So it's 36 inch range, ballistic skill 3, 3 shots at 12 to 4. It has conversion and sustained hits D3, and conversion is if the target's over 18 away, you get crit force. You know, that
Stop
perfectly normal
doing
rule
that.
we all love on a data
Beams.
sheet that has a natural hit and wound reroll.
Fucking beams, dude. A blight on society.
Beam
Crit force
towering,
plus a D3
just-
is terrible.
Yeah, they made the knights the Votan, and it's the worst thing they've ever done. And then its other gun is just the Redemptor Dreadnought gun. It's D6 plus 3 shots, 822, 36 inch range, and then it overcharges to 933 with blast.
It also
and
has a great
plasmas.
name. It's the Plasma Executor. It's got a great name.
Yeah.
let's
It's
be
the same
honest.
name.
I think it's an
Is it?
exterminator on the.
Oh, my mistake.
or an
Yeah.
executioner.
Come
Plasma
on.
executioner sounds right.
My bad.
Yeah,
Jeez,
the
Anthony,
executor and the
get your
executioner are
E
very
words
different.
correct.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually the plasma decimator on the Castellan.
And then it has that's because that one's +1 AP. It's AP 3 and 4.
Oh.
And then you have the Incendine Combustor and the Phosphor Blaster to make sure that it can split fire its guns away so that it can hand out buffs in some of the detachments. Because why would you have to make decisions and choices as a Knight player?
I mean,
It,
of all the things
Phosphor
Knights have to
Blaster,
do.
yeah.
Split firing a gun is not the hardest part.
No.
The Preceptor actually did get a bit of a glow up.
It did.
It now, when it starts the battle, it picks a target, and then each time this model targets that target, it gets reroll wounds, and then when it's destroyed, you pick a new one, and its Bondsman gives that ability to its Armiger, which is actually
Yeah.
kind of cool, and I like that
It
a
is.
lot. Unfortunately, I do believe it lost. It just doesn't have like sustained hits or anything on his gun, and it's just the same gun as Canetrex's, but with the same name, but with no sustained hits. And I look at it, and I'm like I get it, but it's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah.
And then we have Mr.
Canis.
Surprising Glowdown himself. Canetrix still has his once per turn free strat. Didn't get changed to once per battle round like Golemons and such did. I would love like that to happen, but such is life. His guns didn't really change. Still his Lazen Pulsar and Freedom's Hands. He's still 23-9 in combat because a very normal profile to need. They're just making Angron jealous.
I love it. I love how stupid it is. It's 5 attacks, right?
5 attacks,
He's got
sustained
5
1
attacks.
at 23-9 with a hit and wound reroll.
It's cool.
Yeah.
He's
It's
got
cool. It's cool that like the pimp hand is a viable war gear option, right?
yeah, it's fucking cool. Just let it be good. It's fine.
All right.
It's not that
And
big a deal.
then instead of having crit 5s, thank the Lord, he on battle shock something once per battle round within 12.
Once per
One
battle
Imperium,
round?
Once per battle. Once
At
per
the
battle.
beginning of any
Once per
once per battle round at the beginning of any phase.
No, once per battle.
Once per battle, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
But it's any Imperium
Brains.
unit. So you can on battle shock, you can play him in Liberate or Assault group so that when you go advance and charge and advance and shoot on your unit, you can unbattle shock it with Canetrix.
Yep.
Synergy.
Nice, dude. Sick.
Synergy. So yeah, Canis definitely took a bit of a glow down. I don't believe he changed in points. I think all the points for this book, according to like the reviews that came out, they're just the same as they were everywhere else, right? They're just nothing changed, and the defender's 425, which I think is the most expensive of the normalized. He's actually more expensive than Canis, which I like.
Yep.
I think he's more expensive than the Castellan and the Valiant as well.
As well, he should be. He's the best knight.
Yeah, he should
Hilarious.
be. He is the best
Hilariously.
knight. He should be more expensive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he should be.
He's actually cheaper than the defender. He's 415, right? 415 sounds right.
Ooh.
No idea.
Oh,
Canis.
sorry. I said the yeah.
We're talking about the
that might
defender
be.
being the best
sure,
knight.
sure.
Yeah.
And being
Hector
the most
now has
expensive.
to emergency disembark.
Does that ever matter?
He takes damage on 1s, 2s, and 3s instead of
He takes a mortal wound.
But he gets
but-
out 6.
So the actual notable thing is, he gets out 6 and he takes a mortal wound on a 1, 2, or 3. So he's much better at not dying on the get out, and he's better at scamming primary now.
Why did that need a buff?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's very weird. All right.
Yeah, so he can like stand at the front of an objective, get out at the back of it, and make it really hard to charge if you tried to shoot him to death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Helverins now suppress things that they shoot for applying -1 to non-vehicles and monsters instead of having anti-fly 2+. This was a good change.
That's a pretty big nerf.
It's a pretty relevant nerf. I think also a needed one. The fact that armigers were just like randomly god slayers against a couple data sheets was kind of frustrating when knights were good.
I mean, it was very funny when he got 2-ups against Magnus and stuff like that on the Helverins.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
And do you know what? As much as I would like more things in the game, I think more things in the game should have anti-Magnus 2+. But for the sake of everything else,
Yes.
I'm glad. For the sake of my Deathwing, Wrath of the Rock, Vanguard veterans who needed their -1 to wound, I'm a big fan. And then the Warglaive now instead of getting sustained hits gets +1 attack or +2 on its sweep, which is broadly a side grade, but a little worse if you're picking the reroll.
Yeah.
Like
It
you have
is
a more chance
little-
of having an attack miss to get the reroll on, but your reroll is less valuable because it doesn't have a chance of getting a sustained hit. I don't think this broadly makes a huge difference. It's nice. It'll be a little annoying if you're -1 to hit because you don't have that spike potential, but broadly I don't think the Warglaive came out too badly.
It does feel like the Warglaive is just the better generic armature class to take at this point.
I still think the Helverin is better personally. Just the range, right? Like knights are not all. even the defender is not super long range. It's only 36, right? Like it's not like they're playing super long firing lanes, and the armor does give you something that can like fill out your backfield that can actually contribute to the game.
Sure.
That you
I don't
feel
think that
as
they're
pressure to
bad,
get forward.
notably. I think you still take them. I just think you take more Warglaives than you take Helverins, whereas it was kind of reversed before.
I mean, they're neither of them are battling now either, which was a relevant change. So there is a degree of you kind of do what you have to do to make that work, right?
Sure.
All right, now let's talk about detachments. So there's broadly, I think, 3 that are properly viable, which I think is a pretty good hit rate. Let's start with the first one, which is Valor Strike Lance, the one this episode is named for, and the one that you want us to talk about. So everything in your army gets reroll advances and assault, which is pretty good.
Really good. Those are both good rules.
Yep. The enhancements all are this knight picks another knight within 12 and gets a buff. The main ones are ignore cover and stealth are the 2 big ones. I really wanted the Bearer of the Evanescent Ion to have you stand back up because it brought you back to life, but thanks, Nathan. I needed that. Yeah, ignore cover, very solid. Plus and stealth, obviously very good. I like the idea of putting stealth on the Knight Defender that's standing in front of the rest of your army, giving it a 4 portable save. And by like, I mean I hate it deeply, and I'm going to be very annoyed when I have to play against it.
It's not me. It's
Jeremy.
It's Jeremy. It's not me this time. I was recapping the stratagems real quick in my brain. Sorry.
I made that joke in the statue Discord and just no one responded to it. So I was like, all right, it's going on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna wake up inside during the course of this.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So here we now have to talk about the core mechanic of this detachment, which is pick a point and 3 knights within 9 get the stratagem.
Correct.
Now, why was this what they went with?
Why was there Knights the book where they were like, this? We need to have strats affect 3 things because they're not good enough.
Well, was there like a lore blurb? Is there someone that's put eyes on the Imperial Knights Codex that explain? Look, you both lean forward. The way.
So one says with the swearing of cooperative pacts. Okay. One says with their fellows' oaths ringing through their voxnet, and the last one says with deafening challenges blaring from their emitters. Honor-bound comrades. So it's all about being friends. This is the Facebook detachment.
So what I'm getting from this is that dark packs are selfish, and they only let you do a small output buff, versus honorly packs are where it's at.
Exactly. These are, one of them is a vow, one of them's just running real fast together. Like everybody knows when you exercise with a friend, it's easier. So that makes sense to me. And that's why Canis Rex makes it even better, right? Because he's like the lead. He's been at the gym. He's been getting swole. Yeah, one's a vow, and guy. One's everyone just getting real aggressive. Which, again, the power of friendship compels us. So there are 3 of these stratagems. The first is Lance. The second is lethal hits at range.
That's a weak buff.
These are all like dog shit. You know how often you'd pay 1 CP for these stratagems on like 90-point units because it's pretty good when you got it, right?
On like JPIs, these strats are crazy. We're over here like, dude, it affects 3 big knights. Come on.
It's pretty low impact on a big knight. Why don't we just let it hit 3 of them?
My favorite is that they made Thunderstomp actually good as well.
We're gonna get to Thunderstomp. Let's talk about Fulfill, which is the third of these stratagems. Now this is the only one that's 2 CP.
This is the one that made Vic do this.
And it's so it's +2 to move and +2 to advance. Now, a lot's been made of the Valor Strike turn 1 alpha, and like, okay, is it a bit of a joke? Is it actually going to work? Is it actually going to be the right play pattern? Absolutely not. 90% of the time, but 10% of the time it is going to be right. And every single time I have to think, but what if this guy's just going to do it?
So, like, look, I think that top players are really overblowing how often it'll be the wrong move. Because I think there's a lot of people.
As a quantity of the games you play as knights, it will probably be the right play a lot. Of top player against top player, I don't think it'll be the right move a lot. But in terms of quantity of games played by knights, I think it'll be the correct play about 95% of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's going to be like, so if I do it, I kill all of your big stuff answers. And if I don't, I wait. And then the good player who is across from this knight person is going to be like, yeah, dude, playing a tactical game in Warhammer 40,000, it's going to be really important that you use your move blocking and your scoring, and you make sure you get the tempo right and use a bunch of keywords at them to try to
the
confuse.
knight player just like slams their face to the keyboard.
Correct. Just forehead first into Vic's precious elves and
Where is
ruins
the
them.
WG? So for anyone who cannot run the math in their head, which fair enough.
Me
And
too.
most knights are base movement 10. The faster ones are movement 12, like the Atropos or the Castigar or the Sarasta class knights, tend to be movement 12. Now, if you pick the oath of +2 to move and +1 to advance and charge, theoretically, in this detachment that gives you assault, with the use of that stratagem for 1 CP on turn 1, with the use of Canis Rex as one of your targets, your knights will be going 17 plus d6 inches.
Yay! Woo!
19 plus d6 inches if they're a Sarasta class.
Even better.
With a reroll, and 21 plus d6 if it's a Lancer, but you probably shouldn't do that because it can't charge.
Mhm.
You could do it on an armor guard that you buffed with the Lancer's advance and charge buff, though, as one of the
Yes,
three if you
you
wanted
could
to.
do that.
That's true.
Like if you've got one of them that's like, I can get my angle anyway, this armor guard can just do it, right? Why not, right? So the brief context of this is that big knights on a decent enough advance roll can flicker jump
Yep.
Yeah.
For Sarastas,
through
it's
walls
what,
because
a
of course they
5
can.
up?
Yeah, it's a 5-up or a 5-up or a 6 to go 23, so they can't quite for the regular one.
Sure. Yeah, they
They
look,
can do a flicker jump while under a -2 malice.
while we're at it, my own personal joke about top players trying to gaslight the wider context of the game into not doing this to them, aside for a second.
This is going to be right to do a lot of the time, or it's going to be right to do like you're going to be. I think the thing that you're going to do most of the time is you're not going to pick the +2 to move and +1 to advance and charge. You're going to pick the rerolls, and you're only going to go 14 plus d6, and that's still going to be
Which
enough
is
to
still
touch
a
all the
lot,
midboard
yeah.
ruins and see 70% of your opponent's deployment zone and kill most of the shit you want, but also to not get instantly clapped back if it bounces, and to have it be less likely that you bounce because you have the rerolls.
Or you will take the movement and you'll wait till turn 2. Instead of hitting them from your knights with your knights that you had to stand in the open, you will hit them with all of your
Everything.
knights that were all hidden a minute ago and are no longer hidden,
And a lot
nor
of that is
are
going to depend
they.
on exactly what your terrain format looks like staging wise for the knights, right? I think this is going to be a lot more powerful when you don't have to pick the +2 move.
I mean, it's
Most formats, yeah. Sure. Like there are going to be some boards that this is just better on or worse on, right? Like we've seen some of the GW boards. Like if you play like layout 1 in search, God help you.
Yeah,
That big
look,
knight can see into your home ruin.
maybe I just play armies that are too squishy. But I feel like without the reroll, because they probably won't need it, they're just going to dome me, right? Like if they can activate the model into my men, I'm gone.
I've seen, like,
Knights
especially
can
if they're doing
bounce?
like Canis and Atroposes, particularly, are
Oh,
pretty swingy. If
yeah.
it's defenders, they're a lot less. They're a lot more vulnerable to the like, if they bounce, the melee is going to suck kind of aspect of it.
Look, there's definitely downsides to this. They're much less durable. There's stuff that can go wrong. But if
Yeah,
take
if it
just a
goes right, you're just losing the game on turn 1.
if they take just a single breath, or they realize that they don't have the time to take that breath, you know.
Yeah. Should we talk about the other 3 shots in this detachment?
No, the
Yeah.
other strats, yes. I thought you were going to say the
Yes.
other detachments, to which I was going to say no.
We'll
but
talk about the 2 of the other ones that we think will maybe exist when this one gets nerfed.
sure.
Because it's
Correct.
Valorant. So the first one is Thunderstomp, which I think is a game-changing stratagem in the sense that it exists, that you'll threaten to use a lot more than you'll use, but that will be good when it's good, which is triple the attacks of your Titanic feet and give them +1 AP. So your big knight can have 12 attacks at 8/2/2, which more than anything else just makes it so your opponent's going to go, I don't really want to have to, I can't really afford to throw away a unit to like get the lock this down. I'm just going to try to move block it, which then becomes much harder with this attachment. And then you can bail yourself out of wraps occasionally. Like 5 guardsmen can't just charge you and know that they'll live because you only have 4 attacks, right? You have the agency to get yourself out of combat. Much, much easier to play through than it is around now.
It'll help your defender, especially, get out of like tags, because all of a sudden your defender is
really benefit from this.
is gonna punch its way out of combat in a
It also
reasonable fashion.
definitely shouldn't kill 5 Marines.
5
but-
Marines for sure, but like 5 Guardsmen, right?
but-
5 GSC bikes or
Well,
that kind of crap.
What I was gonna say is it shouldn't kill 5 Marines,
But it definitely could.
but it certainly can.
Yeah.
I would not
Yeah.
like happily be like, all right, intercessors, you got this under
Yeah.
control.
You're like,
Off you
they're
go.
they're charging in. It should hit 6 times, then it potentially has a reroll depending on what it's playing. It should, that's maybe 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, and then it's wounded on probably 2s, and then you've got a 5-up save against it. Like, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much of a swing down in one place.
It's
for your game to just
generally
be bad.
it's gonna be like a spike on the hit roll. If it just hits 9 times, you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, because you're like, if they only hit you 3 times, they're just like, okay, cool, sucks to suck. This was a speculative CP anyway. But,
Yeah.
but like all of the tail of damage output is bad for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have squad tactics.
That strat is really good against Eldar because of what it makes them do.
Yes, it is contextually quite good. It is exactly awkward against a few things. So basically, if your opponent wants to get within 9 of you, you can reactive move away from them. So, for example, fire dragons with their 18-inch range fusion guns that want to stand at exactly 8.9 inches away from you, reactive move away 1 inch, and suddenly they're not there. Or if they got out way close and you can't reactive, you just reactive move forwards to your explosion range, and let's flip the game. Never
Let's
had
see
a
let's see if a 6 happens.
yeah.
Dude,
You ready? You want to take this risk, Boygan?
A genuine
Uh,
part of what makes that matchup good is that they can touch you at melter range, but outside of explosion range. Being able to
So there
remove
is
that-
still a way to do it, which is that you can drive the transport up to just outside 9 and then
Yeah.
disembark into that range, which does
Sure.
not trigger the reactive move. So you can get around it, but it makes it much harder if your Serpent, for example, had to deploy way further back because your knight opponent threatened to move 24 inches with their knight and shoot you in the ass. So you had to deploy further away and you had to disembark and advance them there, right? Like if that had to happen, weird, crazy. I can't imagine where that would come up.
Shouldn't be
Where would that
important.
happen? And
They're not the
how would
same
that happen?
detachment. It's no big deal.
It's okay. It's fine.
So this is all still in Valor Strike. It's fine. And then
Yeah.
this detachment is the one, obviously, that has rotate ion shields, just in case your defender died for some reason.
Or you want to use it on Canis,
Yeah, I mean, Canis is probably behind the defender, right? But Canis has
Or-
got Freedom's hand
That-
tickling that guy's like bum cheek and just being
That
like,
doesn't-
"Lover."
It works on other bigs.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was only on armatures. Why?
That defender ability works on everything with the keyword, bud. Big and the small, yes.
That's funny.
It's free rotate ion shield as long as you can stand somehow and cover.
Dude, you stand Hector behind him, and you're like,
Yeah, he's got a
Hector
4 up.
actually is an Imperial Knight model. He does get the.
He's
force
got a
That's
4
what
up
I'm
in head.
saying.
It's fine.
So yeah, I think everybody's kind of balled on that this is probably the best detachment in the book.
Yes.
I don't think anyone's surprised. Rotate is still locked to a 4-up max. It sets you to a 4-up invulnerable save, as it has done for the whole edition.
Yeah. It's not +1 to your invulnerable saves.
It'd be funny if it
fortunately.
was, though.
Yes.
So we're not going back to the dark days. You didn't play in Castle on the era, did you, Anthony?
Nah.
Nah. Good choice.
Jeremy, if you're going to be so active as the stat check chatbot, you just should be in the
Leave him
show.
alone. He's fine. He needs to sleep.
I
All
like
right,
the
it's
stat
true.
check
It
chat
would
bot in
land
the
like
chat.
this.
It's good.
So that you can
It's true, it's
declare
very
your
funny.
home objective and your opponent's home objective and be the Chad meme, and that's it. I don't think anything else is particularly interesting. Quest for Companions is actually kind of a cool detachment. And I think this is the one that's like, I could see this being the good one once Valor Strike's been like had the guts ripped out of it, where it no longer gives you advanced rolls, it gives one big knight assault, and you have to pick like one. You only
Fair
get to do
enough.
one big knight for the abilities. Like once all that's gone away, and also the defender's nerfed and Canis Strikes, free shot doesn't work on other knights, and
I love that the companion one is ostensibly the big knight detachment, but doesn't have like the work together strats. That's
Yeah.
good.
Look, this one doesn't do the fusion dance, right? Like the other
Yeah.
one's the Megazord detachment. This one's the like
The
Sailor Moon detachment.
individual.
So basically, you get to just keep picking oaths. You just get to keep trying new ones, and you get 1 CP for the second and third one.
Yep.
So you can get all your buffs up eventually. Which
Notably, I think
pretty good.
all of its enhancements are once per battle.
all those encounters are once per battle, but once you get honored, or each time you fulfill an oath, they reset and you can use them again.
Ah, yes.
So they're The standard end of battle shock, everything in engagement takes a battle shock at -1, which is fine. You'll fill points with it. Reroll hits against fly models, which is kind of funny for 1
Very
CP.
specific.
Worm Slayer Divination, which is kind of a baller name. I'm not gonna lie.
That is good.
Mhm.
We have once per game sustained 2 in melee, which has never been a problem.
Not even once.
And
Might be
then
right.
throw more, and then you have the. Do you remember the one where you could like use the strat to pick up a vehicle that you killed with your
Yes.
Thunderstrike gauntlet?
Did they
It
put
was
that back?
so
It?
good.
It's
They
back,
put it
yeah.
back as an enhancement.
It's an
Yeah.
enhancement, yeah,
Yes.
and it doesn't require you to have a fist anymore.
That
True.
it's so funny when people are like, "Look, they got rid of all the shit strats that no one ever used in 9th. Look at how streamlined
We're all
10th
like-
is."
The only ones that we remember, the ones that like came out one every 100 games,
Well,
but were the
'cause
coolest shit.
90% of the time when
actually-
you played 9th, you were like, hear me out, 2 stratagems. I'm going to use these 2 stratagems all game.
I definitely had like a number of like real sweaty tournament games that came down to me being like, I'm sure there's something for this, right?
Look,
Do you remember
every
back in the
once in a while you go into the book and you're like, I think word bearers hate ultramarines. Hold on one moment. Vengeance for Monarchia. Fuck you. Die.
The gauntlet
randomly
was a
insane,
stratagem.
What was it? The Iron Hands one that gave them +1 to hit against Chaos and +1 to wound against Emperor's Children. That
Oh.
randomly made like the.
Didn't like that. Not a fan of that one.
There was
So,
the Slanesh.
I remember
one
speaking
for,
to John about his about the Leviathan list. And he was like, "Yeah, Emperor's Children Possessed was like a newer list at the time." He was like, "Yeah, it's completely trivial because my Intercessor squad kills 7 possessed." So, like the Power Fist guy walks in with like every buff.
hammer,
in the
dude.
Cortex.
Hammer.
He just
Exactly.
goes.
I don't know. I don't think that was ever actually that
All right.
crazy, but
Strats for this detachment: reactive 6-up field of hitting and shooting. Definitely. Is this probably better than rotate iron shields in the context that you're playing a defender, but worse in general?
I mean it's just
Yeah.
that's just better, right?
Better if
That's
you got a
fine,
defender.
but
+1 to hit and wound against monster, Titanic, or Walker unit for shooting your fight phase. Very rarely a bad strat to have. +2 deconsolidation for a Titanic model. Again, not bad for just getting your big knight to tap the next thing and stop them going at you. Sticky 5 is in this detachment. Same as
awesome,
in
yeah.
Lords of Dread. 2 CP to fall back, shoot, and charge, which again, a thing that knights traditionally don't have a ton of access to.
what I have so many questions about that strat, right? Because that strat tells you that they know that stratagems should be more expensive when they're used on knights. They're like, oh, this ability is really powerful, so we'll make it 2 CP, of course. Like, have we gotten so far into 10th that now different people write detachments in the book? Like, they're not where they've fucked off the like different people write different books meta. That's old news, dude. Now different people write different detachments.
I think people
in the
might write different stratagems within detachments.
Dude, that
'Cause
could be true too.
The next one is 1 CP advance and charge.
What the fuck? That's not even almost the same thing.
This
Yeah.
attachment is very funny.
I think this detachment's pretty good, right? Like 6-up Field of Pain is situationally better than 4 from Vulnerable Save. It's got fallback and
Mhm.
charge. It's got advance and charge. It's got a damage increasing stratagem for most of the shit you'd want +1 damage against. Notably, it's Monster Titanic and Walker, not Monster Vehicle. So it doesn't work against non-monsters, right? Like they have to be. So like you can't get it against
Or
a Castigator.
walkers, right?
Hmm?
It has to be Monster Walker,
Yeah, Monster Titanic Walker. So it's the same as
but it could be
Lucius,
a
kind of.
walker. Just a walker is fine.
It could
Like,
be just a walker,
vehicle, cool. Like fuck Tau.
yeah. This is fucked.
Okay,
up.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley just said that. Perfect. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ashley.
It's only when fighting not rhinos and things, basically.
Yeah, like Castigators didn't piss you off enough, right? Like this guy got this bird flipped at by like a canoptic spider or some shit. Doesn't work
We're
against the
here
Silent King though. You can't have a duel against the Silent King.
We're here for kaiju fights mostly, other things that are bipedal that you
All
can
right.
punch in the face.
And then we have the detachment that Anthony said he thought was really cool from the preview article, which is Spearhead at Arms.
I think this one's cool.
So
So-
one thing is that so basically you pick a bondsman from your arm. Each time a model in your army uses a bondsman, if that bondsman has not been used yet this turn, you can have it applied to 3 arm makers. and you get
Yeah.
15-inch bondsman range while you're honored, which is kind of cool as well. And then Armigers gain battle line. So notably, you can't have like 6 instances of the same bondsman. You can only have, like, if you ran 2 of the same big knight, you would get 4, not 6. Which
The first time I read this, I thought it was run 2 defenders, get 6 -1 damage armigers, and I was about to be upset.
now 3 is still good. You could still get 4.
4, motherfucker! Like, yeah.
But it's not 6, and 6 is less than 4.
Objectively, that's true.
4 is less than 6.
Notably, the number that you were wanting to do.
6 is
we knew
worse
what you
than
meant.
4, and we're glad that you can't do that. It's still probably pretty good. Okay, all of these general enhancements do a thing for the bondsman armigers that you have. So if you're affecting 2 or more bondsman armigers, they gain an ability. So one is reroll ones to hit, one is precision in melee, one is ignore modifiers to hit and wound, and then the last one is 0 CP heroic. 0 CP interrupt.
Oh.
I think you just take the reroll ones to hit.
Yeah, the reroll ones to hit one's just good, and the 0 CP counter-offensive one is good if you're playing like a lot of if you're playing a lot of warglaives, right? And other than that, I think most of the other ones are pretty ignorable.
I think this detachment is good. I think that basic rule is really good if you take something like castigators or crusaders or something, or
defenders, valiants. I think it's really solid on the preceptor as well, handing out 3 instances of that reroll wound quarry that you can then change as you go. We'll often just give 3 Halverns reroll wounds.
I really like castigators with sustained and extra AP. It makes Helverins like extremely funny.
Yes, especially when you stack it with some of the strats. So this detachment strat gimmick, because apparently strat gimmicks are what this detachment needed, are you either affect 1 armiger or you pick a Titanic model and all of the armigers affected by its bondsman. And that is, I believe, how like 5 of this detachment strats
Most
work.
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Most
So the first one is +1 to hit.
Decent.
Which, you're not going to be upset for 1/3 of a CP on 3 armigers.
As well as your big knight.
It doesn't affect the big knight.
Oh, okay.
It only affects armiger.
It's only
models.
armigers.
Got it.
The strat targets the big knight, but it doesn't affect
the big knight. Got it.
Yeah. Notably, that's true for basically all of these stratagems.
So if Big Boy is battle shocked,
can't target him. He has everything. Every single thing you target has to be on battle shocked.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is you pick one thing that your big knight shot, and everything that shoots it after that gets +1 AP.
Let's be honest. That one kind of sucks.
Well, no, that's what the nipple flamer on the defenders for.
We just talked about this.
Fire. Yeah. You split fire, and suddenly you've got AP3 Helverin autocannons.
That's why I brought it up, Anthony. You gotta get
I
the
know.
program.
I realized that
The next
after I
one
said it.
is fall back and shoot.
Okay.
Yep.
For 3 armigers. The next one is rapid fire 1 for 3 armigers. Notably, really messed up on warglaives who go to 5 melta shots.
Yeah, it's very
that
funny
potentially all have
reroll
reroll ones to hit and sustained hits and +1 AP from a castigator.
Wait, it's
Very good.
everybody, like all your guns get rapid fire? They did that again?
Ranged weapons equipped by armiger models.
We just fucking had Space
Or-
Wolves. In fairness, this hasn't had an FAQ pass yet, so maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
And in
shots on
fairness, 2 melta shots is not the same. It's not the same as handing a repulsor executioner at 18, right? So
Well, no, they gave an annihilator 3 shots basically.
4, right?
3.
With the hunter killer.
Yeah. And 4 with the hunter killer, yeah.
There is a bondsman that gives AP as well. It is the castigator's bondsman gives sustained hits and +1 AP. Yes.
Is both?
At the moment, we actually don't know if there's going to be a 4-roll pass for this book yet. We should probably check that out.
Yeah.
The next one is AOC in the shooting phase for armigers, which, like,
It's 1 armiger. It's
for
just
an armiger. Yeah, that is the only one that is
bad.
not.
That's a bad strat.
yeah.
It's definitely not like you'll use it. You'll be upset to use it, right?
It's not good. You hopefully won't have to use it.
Yeah. So you'll only get 5 melta shots, Jeremy, which is I think what I said, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, it is what you said.
And then the last one is your armigers go back in reserve if they're within 9 of the board edge. Up to 3 of them.
Correct.
Which again, just seems pretty good, right?
Yeah. It's
So
good.
overall,
I'll
I
be
think
down
those are
here
the
for
attachments
3
that will
armigers.
stand out. Like I think Valor Strike is going to be the one that people play to begin with. Quest of Forge Pact continues to not exist, and the other one is like whatever.
The
AP4
Gatekeeper.
rapid 1 Hellruns. I think the best you can get to is AP3, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
you can stick
AP3
+1 AP
because
on a
you
thing you shot, and then another +1 from the
Castigator buff or
Castigator.
from
Where
Castigator.
are you getting AP4 from?
I don't think you can get to
Yeah, I
AP4
didn't
because you
think
can't
you
be affected by multiple bondsman abilities. You can only be affected by one.
Yeah. You could definitely do that and +1 AP though to get 10 shots on your Hellrun.
Yep. You could get 10 shots at AP3.
Oh, you could also
That-
immolator them for an additional ignore cover as well, I guess, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, they're only AP1 and Strength 9, Clark, just as
Yeah.
an aside.
So, general rule of thumb, what do we think of the Knight Codex?
It's really good.
It does seem pretty strong, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think the thing that's worth shouting out, the 6 of Feel No Pain from the index is gone. That is just straight up, it's not here anymore. They are not getting that. That does represent a 20% reduction in durability and a 100% reduction in frustration.
Yes. At least that sorts of it. But yeah, it does represent a significant decrease in durability of knights.
Yeah, like the effective wound count for every armor, for every big knight, you're effectively taking 5 to 6 wounds off them on average, but with a lot of potential to be a lot more than that because that's just how Feel No Pains work. The more you have, the more you get to roll, and then the more you pass, the more chances you get to roll against those same wounds again. It's a multiplicative effect, and then your armors effectively have sort of like 3 less wounds to the rough math, but again, with a lot of volatility in there. That does represent a marked decrease in durability for these data sheets. They are effectively 16% lower wound pool, but they are way faster now, which is very real.
Just feels like we're talking about Eldar, you know?
Yeah, it's totally fair. Yeah, like the second that someone described a big knight as flicker jumping, I was like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am sure we will see some builds start to coalesce. I have, beginning to see some people playing it in some practice games and things like that. Putting it like literally just grabbing like 3 night models and deploying them on a couple of boards and just seeing what happens movement wise. Because like the immediate thing that you think about for counterplaying this is, okay, how do I put stuff on the ruins to stop them from jumping onto them? Where do I put infiltrators that can block these positions and stuff like that? And all that's going to happen if you do that is you're going to put your infiltrators out and your knight opponent's going to go first and shoot them to death and gain 2 CP because they picked kill 2 things on turn 1.
Yeah.
And then they'll do it on turn 2. Or you'll put more stuff out and they'll just keep bleeding you for a unit a turn while they score secondaries and you sit in your deployment zone because you're scared of getting ran at by knights.
Yep.
So start thinking about, I think, what do people want to be looking at in their lists to be able to deal with this?
I would have had a very different answer to this question before WTC, I think.
Sure.
I would have been a lot more comfortable being like, dude, you just take the melee assets, get in there, you abuse the fact that they don't have a melee invuln, you go to swing, you spike down and you die anyway. Fuck. The problem with dealing with knights in melee is that particularly if they're not one of the knights that are like, oops, all blast guns or something
if
like
it's
that.
an Atropos or Canis Rex or a Castigator,
the fail case is so fucking catastrophic. Even against any of them, really, right? Like against any of the ones that can meaningfully shoot into combat.
I think the only one that really struggles is the Defender, because the Defender is like got to be outside 18 for a conversion, and the other gun is blast. And I think that the Defender genuinely does have that downside that it is incredibly submissive and tankable.
Yeah, and
but Thunderstorm still exists.
That's exactly where
that is not nothing.
Yeah. You can do more now, I think is how I'd put it. So high AP sources of melee are good. The problem is getting out range banded, right? It's not just getting like dogged by the, what they're doing, which is frustrating enough as it is. It's the fact that they can sit outside the range at which you can punch them and punch you, which is, roughly as problematic as it sounds like it's going to be.
So consider things that can survive a night activation, right? Like it's going to depend a lot on what big knights end up being meta as well, right?
That's
like
95% of it, I think.
Yeah, like if it ends up being a lot of defenders, then the more durable vehicles become more attractive, right? If you're 2-up save with cover, You're getting 3-up saves against most of their guns. You can AOC, right? You can probably survive a defender with a durable vehicle like a Vindicator and clap back. You might even survive Canis Rex. He is not crit 5s anymore, especially if they want to be doing the Alpha Strike and they need that. Those kind of vehicles are also pretty durable against the like the Castigator or the Crusader, a lot of its guns, right? Strength 10, strength 6s. If it's a lot of Atroposses, that's exactly where you don't want to be, right? So it's very much a case of what aspects of the army are people playing and what do you want to play around. Now, the Atroposses are faster, they're better in melee, they're also much worse at killing big bricks of infantry, for example. Like if you're playing a 20 man of Khorne Berserkers or something like that, or 20 man of Blood Claws, you know, that's going to be a lot worse into defenders than it is into Atroposses. So it really, really, really volatile depending on what people end up playing.
I mean, it's also not great into Atroposses,
It's
right? Like,
better into
Atroposses still
Atroposses than it is
fuck you up when they charge you and shoot. Like, if
when
you
they charge you, for sure. But if they're like, this Detachment doesn't give you advance and charge, just advance and shoot. Right?
Sure,
So
but
theoretically,
if you get,
you're
like-
making them go danger close, you'd rather it was an Atropos than a defender, I think.
Oh, I guess.
I think, right? It's
Yeah.
a real I think moment.
I think if the defender has to be outside conversion to get danger close and shoot you, maybe it's okay. Oh no, that fucking plasma gun is blast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Ugly.
Yeah, it's 9-3-3 blast, D6 plus 3 shots.
I mean, it's D6 plus 4 into a 20. It'll kill like,
D6
What
plus
is that?
7, right?
yeah, so 8 dudes. That's not.
It's not the end of the world, right?
It's not
Plus, maybe,
awesome,
like,
but you know.
you don't want it. I think some of the things that stand out to me, if you've got like lone op or reactive moving infiltrators, it's a great place to be. Stuff like Rangers and Jaeger feels pretty solid in this kind of space, where you can kind of deny them staging up against you and just killing it, because you can then react to move back behind a wall
I
if they come too
worry
close.
about infiltrators into knights because I think
You're gonna feed them a lot of CP if you'd want to go that route. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of want some form of mechanic to get away from it, right? Which I think having a reactive move or something like that makes it like threatening enough that maybe it gets there. Or you can do some stuff where you put the infiltrators in a place where they don't block everything, but if your opponent shoves the first big knight, you can reactive move to block the second once they've already committed one, and then they don't do as much damage, and you can kind of take them apart piecemeal. That's the kind of thing I would be considering looking at, right? Something like Goremongers would be good for that, right? Because they have the infiltrate and the reactive move. Goremongers, Jaegers, Rangers. I think that's the kind of space that I'm like considering wanting to live in. Or if you're like Rangers, could maybe just like scam a big knight with stealth and a 5 invulnerable save, right? Like it's very definitely possible. If you're playing like Gladius, maybe this is a world where you look at stuff like the Librarian plus Infiltrators combo again, right? Like if there's enough range and enough stuff in the metagame to find like you want that. But they can also potentially squad tactics and they're lone up, right? Like that's the kind of space of, yeah, maybe that gets there and you can drag them into the open in front of your Guilliman plus Vindicators and just shoot them to bits. As Tyranids, you just have to roll the Disruptor kind of casino.
I don't even think you bother. I think you take Psychophages and pop out of holes and charge them with extra AP
I think
and
you
hope
do
that
what
works.
Eric Latharis is doing and play 120 Termagants and Invasion Fleet and watch that army
could
not
do that.
mathematically be able to kill you fast enough.
Yep.
You can do that.
Gaunt Swarm
Guys-
again, dude. Fuck.
Guys, I keep looking at it and I'm like, I'm not painting another 100 Spine Fists once.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, bro. I can't do it. Play your ACDC, right? ACDC, you're gonna have a fucking field day into that shit. Oh, you tell me you don't have a feel no pain, bro?
That does help.
You don't have a fight on death anymore?
Well, also you don't make my leadership lower.
Yes, yeah. It does feel like a good place for a horde meta game, especially again if they go more heavier into the Atropos and things like that, right? It's always a horde meta. I'll tell you one thing. I don't love the idea of playing GSC into this, but I'm pretty sure Host of Ascension should still beat it.
The horde meta into the like Black Templars existing
Yeah, no, dude,
is
it's fucking
so
rough, right?
tragic though.
You're just like,
Yeah.
you're just like, you're walking into a tournament just like, God, let it be Death Guard and Knights 5 times. No Black Templars, no EC, no World Years.
Yeah, if you play any of
What a
those, you're
world.
fucked.
Yeah. So
I
it
think
does
we'd have
feel-
such a reasonable meta too if we didn't have the Knight Death Guard, like not even Death Guard anymore, just like the Knights thing going
if
on.
Knights just fucked off for a bit.
Yeah, like it'd be cool
If
to
Knights just
watch.
fucked off for a bit and Black Templars were like 5% more expensive, just had one less unit,
Yeah,
God, I'd be happy.
like I think it'd be an interesting.
And I'm not even sure Black Templars are that problematic.
I think navigating like the like Templar, EC, Eater, DG, Eldar, etc. meta would
Potentially
be...
now Shadow Mark as well, which we've not even talked about.
Sure, yeah, like that,
That's
like all
pretty
of the
real.
like that's such such a more interesting meta than like the oops, hope your army is anti-tank. It's like when custodies are good.
I wasn't
I
aware
think-
the Death Guard was 100%, 1000% fixed. I don't think Death Guard's 100% fixed and 1000% anymore. I just think Death Guard's like the fairest, best army we've had all edition now. Like the current state of Death Guard now, it's like the fairest, best army we've had in a while.
Like Death Guard is good. It's really good. But I really hesitate on like the people still losing their fucking mind about it.
Yeah, I still think Death Guard like could do with a tap, but I'm
Yeah.
also like not losing my mind over it at this point. Like maybe that prince shouldn't be allowed to have that enhancement, right? That kind of space where I'm living at now.
They're never gonna do that, right?
I
Just
know
like
they're
let
not.
it be. It's fine. It's fine that guy's durable as fuck. That shit's
Yeah,
cool.
let him just make him a little more expensive.
Yeah. The enhancement can probably go up. The prince certainly doesn't need
Yeah,
to.
like put the enhancement up a little bit. Like Plague Marines probably should have gotten a hit, right? Like that kind of shit is where we're at now. Maybe it should have been 30 points on drones, not 20, right? That's where we're at now. I can live with that. I can live in a world where we were talking about Death Guard, like, you know, how we were talking about like Chaos Space Marines 2 years ago. We're like, yeah, these guys are the best army in the game, but like, you know, you beat them
You can
sometimes.
get 'em.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, Death Guard did get a really gentle tap in the new
They're
thing,
still
but it's not a big deal. They're still really good. They're not crazy good like they were pre, I think, MFM stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Innes and I have talked about this before. Like, both of us at the same event played what is ostensibly the best Death Guard player on the planet. Down 200 points, both of those games are way different, and people are just being like, it doesn't even matter. And it's like, well, it matters a little bit, right?
I don't think it doesn't.
Can I go back and have him not have those 200 points?
Yeah, I would like him. I would like to have all of my fiends be alive because the Lord of Virulence didn't point at them and go, disappear! Like,
Yeah. If there had
That's
been
also
if
fair.
that Death Strike squad had just not been on my home objective, like
right. You
That's
know,
a big deal.
I think the Death Guard, like, post-nerf complaining is just, like, a bit much. Like, just a smidge.
yeah, like
And if you
are
wanna
actively in
complain-
the process of losing to it right now, I get being like, all right, yeah, okay, that game was a bit bullshit. He had a little too much stuff on the table. But if you're bitching about them like out of game right now,
Mhm. I don't think
I just, if you want to
I'm going to
complain about
complain
them,
more than them being like 0.8 of the nerf that I wanted them to get, but I'm not going to quibble over the 0.2 that I wanted more. At this point.
you want to complain about something, complain about Chaos Knights. I don't know why they're not getting any heat. That faction's still fucked up.
Sure.
I still don't understand why they're allowed double battle cannon options.
I think if a despoiler takes double battle cannons or double Gatling cannons, they should just get twin linked.
Yeah,
I
That'd be
think that's
funny.
fine. Yeah, that would be
That's
good.
everybody else's
very
version
bad.
of twin linked is you got two
Yeah.
arms with the same thing, twin linked.
And you're twin linked. I get you.
yeah.
I don't know. I
You're
think
linked by
you
your
should be allowed to have
shoulders.
two. Like that's not in the kit, guys. When we started box locking things a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, can we just box lock the big knights? Like, why is this their faction identities that they can have the same gun twice?
To be fair,
Hmm.
they don't get to have a defender. They have to have a ruinator. So it's okay that
True.
they don't have a crusader and that instead they have a despoiler.
Look, if
Yep.
Chaos Knights had Canis Rex, I'd have given up on Warhammer. But
Dude, that would have been
Fair.
fucking sick. But, you know, we're not there yet.
imagine Canis
So,
Rex acting for lethals as well.
That'd be sick. That'd be crazy. That'd be really fucked up. It would be like
I am
being...
painting like so many fire dragons right now for this night's meta, but it is very sad that it's just like so many fire
There's
dragons.
a Flagon somewhere on that shelf behind my head. He's up
It-
there with.
I mean, they're being painted in a cool synthwave scheme, which is great, but it is also obnoxious to me
Look.
to like just have so many fire dragons.
I will say,
So many.
I think the degree to which knights are probably suppressing specifically Emperor's Children is something that needs an eye kept on it. Because I think, and apparently America remains alone in this stance, but I don't know if that's changed after WTC.
EC are still really good.
ECR fucked up when they play against anything that's like fair adjacent. Like it doesn't have to be a fair army. It could be another fucked up army. But if it's
If it lives in the
fair-
same, if it lives like in the same house as Fair and sees it on the weekends,
yeah. Yeah, if it's got like weekend custody of fair, right? Like if it's me as a child, like it is unable to, like, you can't even compete. Emperor's Children just do like fucked up stuff from you from like pillar to post, and then you die.
How does it feel though, knowing that an Emperor's Children Demon Prince is now slower than a Big Knight?
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. That's a real thing. What do you want? You come here, you don't want to be here. What's the deal?
That sounds like a cat.
Yeah, what's the fucking, you want to sit by the window next to the sword? Go nuts. The Pickles really likes the all is dust trophy. Good job, trash can. Yeah, I don't like I think that a lot of the time that they kind of just like,
Yeah, we've got Nos playing EC this weekend for Eurotrash. Oh, you missed the Eurotrash team.
no, I was here for that. Oh, you went over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
I thought you were in here.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
Anthony
missing
jumped in.
Eurotrash, which is, I know, we're
Probably for the best, yeah.
Yeah.
For the sake of your eventual marriage.
Yeah. The where was I going with this? Emperor's Children.
Mhm.
I think that they're the monster under the waves, right? Like, I think obviously Thousand Suns won 3 events last weekend. They're poised to be a real problem if they don't get hit in the balanced data slate whenever we get that. But I think there's a lot of sleeping on the Kings in Pink that's happening right now.
I keep asking Bruce for my Noise Marines back, and he keeps saying no. So
Yeah. But now we should talk about it. Let's talk about this Raven Guard stuff and the
Yes.
gulf of gap between the stance that John and the Art of Warhouse have taken on how powerful this is and the stance of apparently the rest of the internet.
I will say that John proselytizing this detachment in the Stat Check Discord has been amazing to listen to, but also, like, this detachment seems good.
I think it's
perhaps
really good.
amazing.
It's fucking good. They took
I think it's
all the
great.
weaknesses of Vanguard
like
and were like,
it's on
"Yeah, we'll
it's
just
on my
fix
shortlist
that."
for LGT, right? Like
Yeah.
it's good enough that I'm like genuinely considering playing it. I'm playing test games against it, and I'm playing test games with it, and it's like them and World Eaters and GSC. I'm like waiting for the slate to see what I keep it on. Shadowmark is on that list. I ordered my 8th on, and I painted my Shrike. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's real good.
100%. It's good.
Do we want to just like run? Like I'm gonna really quickly run through the detachment because it is literally just.
I'm going to talk about
Let's
some
do
of the
it.
parts that I think are potentially where it gets screwy, but people that have played it can tell me otherwise.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna
It's-
Sure.
run through the detachment first, and then let's do that. I got a little bit
Yeah.
up here. Okay, so it's Vanguard baseline. So it's your starter's units get -1 to hit and cover if the target is 12 away from you, which it's not the most interesting hero in the world, but it's always been completely fine when you have it, right?
It's good
And then
with
if you have
things like
Sean on
Knights
your
with
list,
low
Sean
volume.
is a 85-point lone operative with a good melee weapon and movement 14 that rapid ingresses and heroics for free. You can also use the go back and reserve strat for free. So you get a lot of CP economy in this attachment for an army that doesn't have a CP generation.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you read it and you're like, oh, but they're not Ultramarines, so they don't have, and it's like, that doesn't fucking matter at all. It doesn't even matter
Yeah.
a little bit.
So it is
That's
worth
not good.
knowing that technically rules is written. They don't currently get +1 to wound oath because it's it's
That
a
is true.
technically a defined list of stratagems or defined list of detachments that gets that. But
Yeah.
I truly don't anticipate that staying that way. If that doesn't happen, this detachment is a lot worse. I will.
That's true.
shout that out.
Yep.
Okay, enhancements. You've got a starter's infantry unit gets infiltrate. You've got a full boss unit gets the Vectora, so 12-inch +1 to CP costs. You have a stealth and lore operative for a character, and you have arrive from reserves 1 turn higher as long as you're in strat reserve, which notably has the good wording, which means that as long as you deploy them into strat reserve using the 500-point limit, they can rapid ingress on turn 1 because they
And-
just treat the turn as 1 higher and they can arrive using deep strike.
I mean, you'll just never use the stealth lone op one, and you'll use the other 3 almost every time you raid a list.
I think the infiltrators one is like a maybe. You have to like really want a 3rd melee unit in Marines to want it.
Yeah,
And I
that's
could
fair.
see a lot of lists just not playing it, but also it's very good when if you want it, it's there and quite solid.
Can you
A lot
put
of the
jump
biggest
pack?
problem with this detachment for me is that Marine infantry just kind of sucks.
Can you put a
um,
jump pack chaplain in Van Vets? Is that a thing you're
you
allowed to do?
Can not. You can, yeah. The jump back champion exists. The problem with Van Vets is Van Vets are like real AP gated. They're AP 1 and shrink 5. Like it's just a little
Yeah, that's
it's a little wishy-washy. There are better things. There are good things to do. We'll talk a bit about some of the lists in this detachment when we're through it. Okay, strats. You have armor of contempt. You have precision and melee for infantry. First
That's-
one's great. Second one's there.
that strat is better
Sneaky,
than it
sometimes
seems.
really good.
Yeah.
And sometimes just a lot of the time just completely irrelevant. Because as
Sure.
much as the detachment has good CP economy, it's CP economy for the stratagems that you want to use.
Yeah.
If you try to like go too far off of the like, hey, you have a cycle of using these 3 stratagems on repeat, it's real good at doing that, but not much else, I think is worth noting, just because of the way its free strat economy works out. You have fallback, shoot, and charge for Adeptus Astartes unit. And then if it's a Phobos or Scout unit, it's also advance and charge.
That's so
And shoot.
fucking good.
Yes.
That strat is so fucking good. It's such an upgrade over baseline Vanguard to have this strat.
Yes.
It is insane.
Yeah, specifically because this detachment is really good for Centurion Devastators, them being able to get out of combat is very important. It's also just good on like Inceptors if they don't want to just get stuck in with the thing they're in with. It's great for Shrike because Shrike has the Phobos keyword, so he can advance and charge with his unit. Just very, very, very solid.
So good.
Then we have the same stratagem, which is the Adaptive Stratagems Infantry, targets a thing over 12 away, +1 ballistic skill, +1 AP. Gangbusters, it's why dev sets are best in this detachment. +1 AP and +1 ballistic skill. That unit hits on 2 rolling ones because it now always has reroll ones to hit. You effectively have a 100% hit rate, and then you have las cannons with twin link and missiles. Very, very, very good. Very good stratagem. It also makes people take battle shot tests, which sometimes go and scam you a game at WCW.
Sure can.
Then we have this is the reactive move stratagem. It got changed from being a reactive move on charge to a reactive move when someone ends within 9 of you for infantry or mounted. And it is 6 inches if you're Phobos or Scout. Again, 6 inches for Shrike, 6 inches for your infiltrators, anything like that. Upgrade / downgrade. It's definitely different than the reactive move when you get charged. It changes the way you play. This is more of a like prevention than cure.
It's a nerf. Like,
yeah.
It's worse than the other one. The other one was fucked beyond belief, so that's fair.
Yeah, this is definitely like where some of the power budget came from to give to other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's still a good stratagem to have access to, and you're never upset to have it, particularly with Strike Squad having lone operative.
Look,
if
active move is just good.
Yeah.
Like, just good.
The biggest thing with this one is your opponent tries to walk next to Strike's unit. Strike's unit goes, fuck off 6 inches, we're lone operatives. Sorry. It's really annoying, especially if you're like good and careful about playing around your range bands. And then the last one is Into Darkness, which is 1 CP to put an Adeptus Strike Infantry unit back in reserve, or 2 Scout Phobos units. You won't actually use the Strikes unit because he has this as a datasheet rule, so you don't have to worry about that. But picking up your Dev Sense, picking up your Inceptors, picking up your Lone Up Lieutenant and an Infiltrator squad to just play the game with, and this is free as long as Aethon Shan stays alive and on the table. There are some really, really cool gimmicks with this attachment. Like just Shrike as a datasheet has been really good all edition. We have seen people play this datasheet even with the general state of the rest of Raven Guard, because Lone Up on a squad of 10 guys is just incredible. It's so powerful. There are so many incredibly strong play patterns with it. You've got things like, my favorite one to do at the moment is you put your Lone Up Lieutenant on an objective such that he is more than 3 inches or more onto the objective. If your opponent wants to walk up to that objective to shoot the guy, they have to stay within 12 but outside 9 of him, so that they can shoot him but not give him the reactive move, because if they give him the reactive move, he'll just leave. So they put their unit out and they stand within 12 of them, and then you rapid ingress behind the Lone Up Lieutenant at the other end of the objective, and with Strike's unit, you're outside 12 of the target because you're more than 3 inches off the objective, they're outside 9 of the character, that's your objective, and then Strike Squad moves off and does its own thing. Really, really cool play pattern, really, really interesting. Just having a Lone Up 12 unit that can rapid ingress, yeah, it's insanely good. They can also start on the table and then go back in reserve and then threaten to do it turn 1, so you don't even necessarily lose a ton of like turn 1 agency to do that.
No,
you've got
so
turn 1 ingress plays. Sorry, Anthony?
I said no, they're so good for that. The ability to just be like whoop whoop.
Yeah. You've got turn 1 ingress plays. I don't know if you've ever had to play around turn 1 ingress from Stormlance.
So annoying.
So frustrating to play against turn 1 ingress in Stormlance because you're just like, and that was coming off a board edge. Now, admittedly, it was like 7 Thunderwolves doing it with a Blood Surge and very different scale of problem, but this is anywhere. And anywhere problems on turn 1 fucking suck. Anywhere problems, yeah.
Yeah, it being deep strike for an army that, like, literally, if you're just not, like, a bunch of combat marines, you're like, 10? Vets are going to jump me? Fuck!
Yeah. I've been doing it with 10 JPIs with a captain.
Sure.
And that's been just like, you're going to take charge mortals, and the rapid ingress was a free strat. And now, they're strength 5 with their chain weapons and your oath. So if you're just like marine bodies, they wound you on 2s.
Yep.
because the captain gives the +1 strength. You're just like, yeah, okay, like that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Like, if this like
Sean's been
happens to
doing
you
it
as
with 5 assault terminators with a librarian, which is very oath dependent, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's also a lot more durable, so it can ingress in more sketchy places, I suppose is an easy way to describe it.
it also is like, just in general, the ability to like do something like that to like Eldar specifically is like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, bro, god
Watching an
damn.
Eldar player's brain just
Yeah.
melt as you're like, so I'm going to turn 1 ingress on top of your Wave Serpent. You
Yeah,
staged
just
it there? Cool, I'm moving 12 and
next to
charging
you.
it. Notably, the stuff that you're ingressing will
Mhm.
likely not be full boss keyword, so it won't be able to advance and charge, which is like the tamest of restrictions, but is a restriction. The reason to go with Libby over Chaplain for the Assault Terminators for Blake C in the chat
They're already
is
+1 to wound.
because the only way you are ever connecting that squad usefully is with Oath of Moment, and Oath of Moment already gives you +1 to wound, so the +1 to wound from the Chaplain doesn't do a ton, whereas sustained hits from the Librarian is very impactful when you're hitting on force with Assault Terminators. It's also why you prefer it over the Chaplain or over the Captain, because you can probably already free strat off the teleport armor for rapid ingress, and you don't need reroll charge because you should be connecting a 4-inch charge anyway to whatever you rapid ingress at 9 of. So the Librarian is the best damage output increase for that unit, unfortunately.
Yep.
God, I wish it could be literally anything else.
Have you ever played against a Librarian in a Deathwing Knight unit?
Yeah, it's real annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, and Sean gives you real charges for free if you want it as well. Yeah, absolutely, totally true. Sean is a weird data sheet. His charge rerolls being like mandatory. You must charge that target. It's very funny.
Dude, copping it from homie in melee is rough though. You lose a lot of friends to that guy.
Yeah, his 7 attacks at sustained 2/5/2/2 twin linked
That shit hurts.
with very frequently +1 to wound and full rerolls.
Yeah, that's not good. That guy will fuck up your Berserker squad by himself if you don't have the command points.
The game I played into him today, the Berserker unit rolled an 8 on his Blood Surge and ran directly away from him.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then he just stood there and got solo charged by Angron.
Oh, whoops.
It's like, what if you just
Ouch.
stopped? Like,
Enough.
We're not doing that today.
Cut it out.
Stop free stratting me.
Yeah.
Stop free stratting me, please.
Yeah, notably, Sean does have to be alive for you to do Into Darkness for free, which does a little bit, like, has a weird back and forth with his data sheet rules, because he free strat rapid ingresses and free strat heroics, even if something else has already done it. So you kind of, like, you want him off the table to rapid ingress into heroic and stuff like that to, like, give you a bit of anti-melee stuff, but you want him on the table to Into Darkness. So he tends to only get to do it if you have nothing else to pick up, like maybe your Scent Devs and your Receptors are already on a good line or some of that, and you don't feel the need, then Sean gets to just go up and wait in reserve, and that's totally fine, right? You're never upset to get to do that, but it's also not like his default play pattern. His default play pattern is kind of like late game skirmish unit. Once you hit like turn 3 or 4, and you don't really need to teleport anymore, he can afford to die, and you're just going to spend CV on doing it if you want to. But you'd probably want to try to avoid losing him in the early game. But he is a lone operative that can just sit on a side objective while you sit your, lone up lieutenant on another one and just make your opponent come to you, right? So it's a super cool detachment. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. I would not be surprised to see very, very good numbers for this at an event like LGT or LVO, which are both in the next 3 weeks, right? So,
Yep.
I was going to take it to Eurotrash, but the points technically aren't out yet, and it's not in the app yet, so it's kind of hard to submit it for an event.
Yeah, I mean,
and the model's not out till the 20th, so
that part
Also
is
true.
the real challenge. I feel like the rest of it's pretty solvable, but
it is kind of like there is no points in the app, which means that the only way we have the points is like
just
the
write it.
word of mouth of the Art of War video.
That's fine. That's good enough.
I'm not sure it is personally, but
Whatever.
no. So, do consider Raven Guard. It's super fun. I've enjoyed the few games I played with it and the game I played against it. I did beat the shit out of it 18-2. It felt very good, but
I mean, it's vulnerable to the things that it's
Yeah.
vulnerable till.
it's got
Still-
it's got some real. My opponent just shoved at me, and I got to wait for my dev sent. My devs are coming off a board edge, and there's not always a great place for them to come in. And the game is just happening around me, and my chaff all died problems, which I think are pretty real. I'm not convinced it's like broken. I just straight up don't think it's a broken detachment. I think it's a very strong, very cool, very dynamic detachment. And yeah, 100%. I think it's completely tournament viable, and you could win any event that you want to with it. Do I think it's better than like Stormlance Ultramarines? Less sure about that.
Stormlance Ultras is a
Josh sure did do
really high bar.
Yeah, Josh sure did do 584 points out of 600 at the weekend at the Goonhammer Open again.
Did he do it again? That's hilarious.
84 and 500s.
Nice.
Shout out to my teammate from WGT, Struan, who played him in round 5, who had the Storm Raven blow up and kill all of Lycus' friends, preventing her from charging. And also all of Jane's R's friends, preventing her from charging.
That is tough, dude. That sucks.
Brutal. That's ouch.
I've got advanced charger, flicker jump and charge. No, you don't.
You did.
You did for a second.
All right. I am going to very quickly do the plugs, and then we're going to go into show questions because it is coming up for an hour and 40 in the show. And if we don't do it, I'm never getting to bed.
True.
All right, guys. Let's do the plugs while I scroll to find them. Anthony, would you take Shadowmark to a tournament if you were a Marine player?
Would I?
Yeah. Do you think it's a good enough event? Do you love us to just play at tournaments?
Yes, but not for me.
No, I don't mean for you. If you,
Yeah.
if you were a Marine player,
we're in
Shadowmark
like
the kind of list you think would be powerful?
We're in like not quite Deceptors, but I'd do it for money territory for with Shadowmark. It's just super not how I play the game. It'd be kind of interesting to do it like an RTT or something, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's really strong. Like it, particularly on GW boards where the lanes are just like, hello, I can see you from my deployment zone.
Yeah, we played it on a few WTC boards that's just like, yeah, okay, if you're playing this in teams, you probably want like some degree of table choice.
Right.
Just playing all those ones with like the board edge touching ruins can be a little messy.
Yeah,
but the same reason layout 1 can be a little awkward, but layout 1 has good angles other ways. So, all right, plugs. If you're enjoying the show and you'd like to support us, you can do all the usual support stuff. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscription. Don't leave a subscription. Take a subscription. It'd be really appreciated. You guys telling us what you enjoy from the show really does help us make it all better, and we do our best to try to follow up on any feedback and consider it strongly. So if you want to make your mark on the show, leave some feedback. If you want to support us a little bit more and you're in a position to, you can check out patreon.com/statcheck, or you can check out the YouTube membership program in the description below. For $5 a month, you get access to the StatCheck Discord. You get access to our Vibe Check leagues, which the next one, which is the singles one, should be kicking up. We're basically going to launch signups as soon as the Balance Day slate drops. So either this week, next week, the week after, sometime in September, because we know the slate's this month. That's all we got. Sometime this month, there'll be a new Vibe Check league kicking off. So if you want to take part in that, you'll need to be an active member of one of those two. And you can also chat with all of our wonderful such hosts. You can see John Lennon vamping about Shadowmark all the time. You can see people whinging about all sorts of things, mostly in the news and rumors channel. If you'd like to support any of our sponsors, you can check out all the links in the description below. That's Red Dragon, where you can, if you're a StatCheck patron, you'll get 15% off on the entire store. You can find that at red-dragon.ca. You can also find our sponsors Saltar Games at saltargames.co.uk, Wayland Yutani at wayland-yutani-inc.com, and J15 Games at etsy.com/shop/J15 Games. I have to highly recommend the J15 Games measurement tools, the ones that pull apart into 3 pieces. They are just the best. I have 2 of them, and they're goddamn wonderful. I use them all the time. But yeah, do check out our sponsors. You can find all the links below. You can also find discount codes for a bunch of them. And if you're a patron, you can get a Red Dragon membership, a Red Dragon discount. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can check out youtube.com/statcheck every Tuesday at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're here to chat all things. We take questions. We'll chat about the metagame. We'll have stats next week. Fingers crossed. We'll see how things are going. But yeah, do check that out. And also, you can find all the other episodes of all our other shows like Takeout Commerce, End of the Matrix, XM1, and Champions of 40K, all live on the website. There should be an episode of End of the Matrix going up tomorrow for the Eurotrash Open with, I think, Nassim and Liam and Brian and someone else. They have a guest coming from somewhere. I have no idea who, but they should be having a guest. Just keep thinking. If you want to work with any of our coaches, you can check out stat-check.com/coaching. If you want to work with myself, Liam, Nassim, Pumbaa, Tyler, I think that's, and Naj right now. I believe Lucas is taking a break for the time being. But you can work with any of us if you want to reach out. Drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. Jesus, man, brain is mush today. Then the only other thing I need to plug. Did anybody else do any content this week? I have the one new video up. If you guys want to see the full review, we did a brand new series on the Grey Knight Codex. So if you want to see me do a full hour and 50-minute long deep dive into Grey Knights with a month of hindsight, looking some of the stats and some of the data, what's seeing play, what isn't, and why some of it's not seeing play, you can check that out on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/statcheck. And I don't think anyone else did anything else. I
Yep.
will be doing some review content from Eurotrash because, well, we paid for it, so I'm going to make some content about it. I think it's kind of part of the social contract that goes in with that. So yeah, keep an eye out for that coming out on the channel in the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, let's move on to some show questions.
All right. The way to get your questions answered on air is to either make a really good question in YouTube, which usually doesn't happen, unfortunately, just because we do get a higher volume of questions through the 2 guaranteed ways, which are to leave a super chat in the YouTube chat or to join the Patreon and add your question to the show questions thread in the main show questions channel. In those 2 ways are the only way to get your question guaranteed to be asked and answered on the show. I'm going to start with, we don't have any super chats today, which is odd. Usually there's like some random nonsense in there. But instead, we'll start in the show questions thread in the Patreon Discord. Henry the Wizard has the first question, which is, which factions do you think are most deserving of bonus detachments in the slate? Any factions in particular that are either struggling or still missing a distinct way to play, possibly that they were known for in older editions that is not present in their codex?
I feel like the easiest answer here is unfortunately Drukhari, but they have a book coming soon, so they probably won't get it.
Sister's Bloody Rose would be cool to see, like an actual proper melee detachment that isn't just Pennant and Host.
I think that's the most obvious one, right? I think Sisters really could use something to make them a bit more exciting. Just give them fucking lag. Just reprint lag and give it to Sisters. They won't. It's not gonna break anything. It's fine. Just give it to them. Like just 1 for 1. Just fucking shump that shit over there.
Maybe the Sustain 2 enhancement could be a little different. Or the Sustain 3.
No, that's still fine.
I don't want to see that on a jump cannon S.
Let some Sisters character get crazy, dude. That shit's hype when they like fuel a bunch of miracle dice into a character and she goes like Turbo Super Saiyan once. That shit's sick.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to see a GST detachment, but I would always like to see a GST detachment. I'd like to see like a proper like crossfire detachment that actually brought back like the lines over people shit. It was my favorite.
The tokens bring
we
back
all
the
we all miss
crossfire
it.
tokens.
Everyone misses it. We all know we miss it. Just straight up take away res points for that detachment. Like I'll give them up. It's like this doesn't get that, but it does get this really cool hype shit. Like put all the power budget.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put out the obvious one and say Adeptus Mechanicus probably just needs a whole nother, like maybe, we're just gonna keep throwing detachment rules at it and see if we can make it better.
Admech need like a redesign.
That's true.
They need new data sheets and a redesign.
I
they
hope World
fucked up.
Get one. That's just all about Jugger Cavalry.
Oh, World Leaders. They can't even do that. There's no Jugger. What?
you get to run 18 Blood Crushers. You get to run Blood Crushers in their battle line, and they gain World Leader keywords. That's all I want, just to make you mad.
Why?
Jugger Cavalry. That's what it's all about. And Butcher Surgeons.
I guess.
All right. The next question is from John, which is thoughts on the speculation that T-Suns may be moving. We don't really do speculation. It's about single attempts at each spell. Do we think that's like a good shift for that?
If that's what changes, that is a good change, but we don't really do speculation like that.
Yeah, that is probably one of the changes we've suggested previously on the show to balance out some of the nonsense that
I think they should just only be able to cast it until they fail it once per game. Once you fill the spell, that's it. Your guy forgot.
I want the perils.
Sucks, dude. You forgot Doombolt now. It's just gone.
I want perils to just be D6 mortal wounds, and sometimes like just random shit happens.
I think the mortal wounds that Thousand Suns take should be whatever the double you rolled was, is how many mortal wounds you should take.
How much you fail by. However much you fail by.
If you rolled the double 6, sucks, dude. That's 6 mortal wounds.
Fair. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. I love it. And then if it's 666, it's 12.
I really
18.
This is gonna sound very hypocritical coming from me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, probably.
But I wish earnestly that Thousand Suns could just be worse in a way that is not like vindictive to them. I really hate playing against them because they made this book for like literally the entire of the edition just shit down melee pressure's mouth, which sucks. And I don't want them to end up in a state where we have what we had right before they got a codex, where they were broadly not performing super well, but they still fucking suplexed you if you were the wrong type of army. It just like we're just gonna end up in that spin cycle again. If Thousand Suns get taken out back and just like shot in the face, the back end of like the actual end of 10th.
How much better would Thousand Suns be if Overwatch in the movement phase just didn't exist?
I don't even think that would change a
Or
ton
just
for
Overwatch
them.
didn't exist. I
Yeah.
hate getting Infernal Master twice in the same fucking turn cycle.
Yeah, it shit
for
sucks.
5 turns.
What I was gonna say is, if Thousand Suns right now get taken out back and shot in the face, and it's too bad, and they go to like fix them by buffing them, the end of 10th is gonna be genuinely miserable.
I can see
That's
that.
my prediction for that. Is if Thousand Suns get just like taken the fuck down, and then they get like compensatory buffs because the edition's almost over, that is gonna be bad.
Oh god, and I've just decided what I think the last 3 months of the edition is going to be. I think they're just going to delete the balance data slate for every nerf. They're just going to go, every nerf
fuck
is
it.
gone. You guys play full power.
Back to base. 10th
Dev wound
edition.
spill again. Fuck it.
Titanic and
Alright.
Overwatch. If they do that, I'll genuinely stop playing for 3 months. But maybe that'll be the goal. We'll all be so excited for 11th edition.
That's true. I would be pretty excited for 11th if that was what happened.
All right.
All right,
Alex
let's move
has
on.
the next question, which is, what are some heuristics for appraising different terrain layouts and how best to approach them during play beyond seeing where are the good spots to deploy to? Bonus question if you have time. I see people refer to different deployment zones paired with certain missions as being bad. What's a good way to appraise what a good deployment zone would look like for a given mission? This is a long question.
So
Why don't we just do
generally,
the
what
first
you're
one?
looking at is, where can you move to on turn 1? Where can your opponent shoot you from? How protected is your objective? Are the biggest things generally. Can you stand on your objective and your opponent can't stand somewhere where they can move and shoot it, or where they can move and charge it that you can't get to? Those are the big things. How long are the firing lanes? Or is this a board with 24-inch firing lanes or 40-inch firing lanes? Right, that's the kind of thing you want to be looking at. But a lot of what you really want to think about is how safe is your deployment, how protected are your objectives. Those tend to be the biggest driving forces. So if you think about something like GW Layout 1, your deployment's pretty safe, but your objectives are like pretty under duress pretty quickly in like a tipping point, especially in a hammer and anvil. Whereas if you play it in like Crucible or Search and Destroy, you tend to find that side objective is super safe and your deployment's super safe. So it tends to be one of those maps where a lot of it's going to depend on the confluence. And then when people talk about deployment zones paired with missions being bad, it mostly means that like the layout just doesn't support defending either. Basically, if you don't have a safe deployment zone or a safe side objective, or both, that tends to be the biggest confluence, or you're just too goddamn close together, which is kind of just the general issue with sweeping engagement.
Dawn and sweeping, yeah. Dude,
I'd
can play
honestly a little bit Search and Destroy, but Search and Destroy at least has backfield.
Well, you can go backwards in Search, so it's
Exactly,
not too bad.
you can. You
Like,
can't always go backwards safely, but
Dude, in sweeping, I played a game of sweeping the other day where I just got like fucked to death in my deployment zone. And I was just like, what is this? Why do people play on this on purpose?
yeah, you play against Valor Strike on that, and you're just like they're like 4 inches past your deployment line on turn
Dude,
1.
Fuck the gun lines. Play against a melee pressure army on sweeping, and it's like, I'm sorry, what are we doing? It's so stupid.
Playing against like any scouting army on sweeping just sucks so
Yeah.
much.
All right. Next question is from Isaac. Today I learned Nas, that's Nassim, doesn't yellow scribe his armies and also plays knights. What does he deserve?
To play for England.
Question's done. I think that question has been won, and we're going to the next question from Isaac, which is Raven Guide or Knights at LVO?
Raven Guard, don't be a sheep.
Just play
Just play
knights.
the Raven
You know what you're going to do, Isaac.
It's true. You should just play Knights if you want to do the thing. All right. C. Groots has a super chat. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Love the show. Lurking. It gets me through the dregs of the workday. In regards to the new Raven Guard detachment, Reavers. They're dirt cheap and have deep strike. If not here, then just delete the data sheet.
I mean, delete the data sheet, dude. They're just...
Reavers are completely okay and just kind of outclassed by Incursors. Like, Incursors just do their job better. Reavers are specifically good at one thing, and if you put them and an Intercessor Squad on your side objective, it's not getting flipped. Because you'll have 15 OC on it, and you'll be driving your opponents by 1, and they have some counterpunch. Like, they're not bad. I played one squad of them in Bloodless Angels. They were totally fine. But they're just
too
fine.
many
That's all
steps,
they
dude.
are.
It's too
The
many
only-
steps.
The actual only thing that I will say that they are useful for is because they have the graph hooks. If you're playing on a terrain format that doesn't use in from the wall, but does have upper floors, they are quite good for charging into that position, which is why I played them in Bloodless Angels. Because they could like jump out of an impulsor, charge above something without paying extra distance for it, and that was very helpful in that metagame, which I liked for playing into stuff like Guard that was very popular. They would fuck up like a catch squad that was standing an inch off the wall, and nothing else really did that except JPIs, and I was already maxed on JPIs. So that's kind of where they're a use case for. But I think Raven Guard are not going to have that problem where you're going to run out of JPI slots, because I don't think you're probably going to play 3 squads of them anyway. So you're not reaching for Reavers, unfortunately. They're just giving them advanced charge doesn't make them better. It just makes them less slow.
Dude, I
And
think
you
I would
have to
take-
already be capped out on fast units to want them.
Yeah, I think I would take the 6th unit of intercessors before I took Reavers. Like, I just don't. I want to believe
They were totally
look,
fine in Bloodless Angels, but Bloodless Angels is a very specific kind of army, right?
Yeah, and that's not a thing anymore.
Exactly, right? Like, yeah, when they were +2 strength, +1 attack, and advance and charge, and they had +1 to wound. And,
They were all right.
yeah, they were like one of the.
They were okay.
One of the units in my army.
Yeah, they probably could have been in cursors in every game that you used them, and they would have been.
Also, no, they were also hilariously specifically in the list because if your opponent pushed 2 big bricks of melee stuff at you, you could be like, "You want to take the flip that you don't fail this battle shock test," and that was kind of useful because the army was a little bit like bitty activations, and it sometimes just needed someone to say, "You can't just push 2 possessed bricks at me at the same time with no cost. There is a chance that this will just go bad for you."
Famously, it ran into some trouble against keepers once.
That was not why.
The value of the bolt guns.
Carl is next, which is I used to play a video game where one of the characters had rather toxic design that also made him so popular there'd be riots if he was reworked. And so the devs had a hot fix ready, and if he ever reached 50% plus weekly win rate, he'd immediately get a small nerf. Do you think GW should take some inspiration from this approach with regards to Knights?
Yeah, I mean, Knights aren't even that popular, right?
I think
They're like they're not as popular as
Knight
like
fans are really into Knights. I think
Slow
it's
down.
kind of how
Slow down.
I can pull up the
for
date.
the
You need to
last
play
week that we have
50%.
stats for. What's the combined play rate of Knights?
Oh man, I will grab it.
10%.
Just give me a second. It's not. It's like 8.
So it's
Probably,
less
but I'm
than
gonna
Death
pull it.
Guard by themselves. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I mean,
It's not
theoretically,
that
every
fucking-
faction should have roughly a 4% play rate, though. Like 4% is the average.
That's never going to be the truth, though.
No, I know, but it means that it's two and a bit times more represented than it should be.
No, I'm saying both Knights together.
Oh, both Knights together, Chaos and Imperial, is
Yeah.
over 10. Yeah, give me it's like 15, I think, was the last I checked, but I'll grab it real quick. It's just going to take me a second because I didn't open the Excel document and it needs to not blow my computer up.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to drive at here, right, is that like it's not like Knights are like the fucking foundation keeping the game working, right?
No.
If you shot Knights, it would be sad. I don't think you should make them dumpster garbage unplayable. You should probably just find whoever wrote their fucking 9th book, because Knights were like perfectly mid for like all of 9th.
Knights combined is across our data set for the last 2 blocks is 11% of the meta game.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that's
what I
fine. That's not some crazy thing where it's like 40k exists because people can play Knights. It's not Space Marines, right?
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal. It's more the point that I was trying to push back on. That's all. Like, I think that balanced approach would be pretty good even, but I don't think we're talking about Knights when we're talking about that. We're talking about Space Marines. Space Marines win rates are almost always just like fine.
Yeah, I think honestly, if factions get above 55, like it's worth considering. Like over a
GW just,
period,
like,
you can't do this like
every
on
month.
a weekly basis because that shit would be crazy.
think-
Um,
Once a month, GW just put out like not a balance update, but just these 5 armies get 2,100 points and these 5 get 1,900 for tournaments for the next month.
I think that's too much. I think what they could do somewhat easily is just like minor point stuff. But my understanding is that there's like a lead time to these things, and their changes have like a whole bunch of convoluted shit they need to pass through. So it doesn't exactly work the way that it does in a video game, right?
Yeah, it's not like you.
Mhm.
It's way quicker to test shit in a video game, right, than it is in 40k.
100%. Like anytime you look at leagues or any other like MOBA, the data that they get for like individual characters is crazy compared to 40k. You get an amount of numbers for one character in one of those that's comparable to a whole year of games in Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, and
It's-
because you
it's
can look at
nuts.
stuff like win rates for skills in specific orders and how people play it. Yeah, whatever, right? Let's move on.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And if
I'm
you
never
drill
gonna do
down, all right. Thank you, Ben Jurek, for the $5 super chat. What's a harmless troll I can do to Folger while he stays with me for LVO?
this. Call him Sam the entire weekend.
Just don't
Oh
break.
my gosh.
Just call him Sam. See if you can get him to answer to it by the end.
Just some standard psyop stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. John Johnston has the next question, which is the meta really more broken than the darkest days of 9th AdMech,
No.
Drukhari, Light Harlequins tiers? No, not even close. It's not even close to that bad.
I'm about to drop the hot take, dude. I think
Oh
this
my
meta
gosh.
feels worse to play into, personally.
There is
Um,
nothing that feels. This is nothing compared to playing as at my planes.
So outside of planes, planes were fucked. But this is kind of the same thing, right? It
No, I don't think it is.
it just floats over to your objectives. Okay, this is the way I'll put it. I played a lot of ninth, probably more than most, I would say. I was putting up Innis numbers in ninth. Not anymore though. There's some correlation to those points there. I played against the fucked up stuff, pillar to post. I played the fucked up stuff, pillar to post. No single experience was worse than that game I played at WTC against CK. None of them. I've had plenty of just like hopeless nothing games. None of them compared to I physically cannot hurt you. I'm dead. No recourse.
That's how I felt playing at Dynamic Planes.
Sure.
And a little bit like Harlequins with things that weren't Crusher Stampede.
But
Yeah.
you could do stuff.
I broadly just don't agree. Like, I just think ninth was a worse game than you do, and I think that we can spiral around on that for a while. I think
Yeah.
that this metagame is better than most of the worst of ninth edition. There were definitely but one of the things that you kind of have to gather as content creators, we're always going to be looking at what do things need to do to improve, because there's no point just sitting here for us
Yeah.
being like, and here things are perfect and nothing should change, right? Like, it's not.
I
It's
think
just not
in
the way
general,
that this functions.
I think if you ran like a teams event and plucked knights, it'd be one of the most interesting metas we had, right? If you were just like,
Yeah.
team event, no knights, no team takes knights. I think you'd have a really interesting event. I think that has largely been true a lot of times in Warhammer.
Oh yeah,
though.
launch nids, maliceptors. Yeah, no, I think there's been a lot.
There was a bunch of fucked up stuff in ninth, but there's also been a bunch of fucked up stuff in 10th.
There has been.
The biggest thing that I'm going to say is that I think retrospective, like, was this as bad in like a previous edition, isn't even helpful to the conversation. It's like, was it better for me to be stabbed twice in the face, or is it better to be stabbed 3 times in the chest today? Is like a conversation of back in my day when I walked uphill both ways to school,
where I
was
land
it worse
on
than
this,
now?
where I land on this is not like a like an oppression Olympic situation. For me, where I land on this is that like
no game has ever felt like it take more individual agency off you than a game into Chaos Knights.
Yeah, and there's also like in ninth when I was like a singles, grinding man. If you wanted, that was like the bar to get in the door, right? It was like you play one of the fucked up armies. It's what you do. Now, ostensibly, based on the way everyone talks about it, that shouldn't be a thing. The game's more balanced now. It's 10th. It's not true at all. You still have to play one of the fucked up things if you want to win an event. So, the trade-off for that was that you had, from my perspective, a little bit more cool shit you could do in ninth across the entire spectrum, even if on rate it was differently balanced.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think it's fair. I don't know. I guess I remember too many times me charging a freaking Hive Tyrant with wings with the Reaper of Obliterax into like a 10-man of Scarab Cult Terminators and watching that whole intensely durable unit disappear in a haze.
But that unit fucking sucked. Like, if people, like, right now, if you play 10 Scarab Cults into a World Eater Forge Fiend, you'll get fucking erased. And you'll be like, oh, fucking shit's OP. It's like, yeah, dude, if you play bad durable units into very lethal things, you fucking die. That's true right now.
True.
That's fair. I think we also just there's also kind of a thing here of we have different opinions on things like faction secondaries and phase caps and all this kind of stuff. Like, we just have different philosophies on this, and I think that's fine. Like, for me, the game feels worse now than it did. It feels better now than it did in ninth. For you, it doesn't. We're different people, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Everyone is going to have a different level of enjoyment of both of these game systems. I broadly didn't really like ninth edition. I significantly preferred. I preferred 7th to 8th and 9th, and I prefer the design direction of 11th of 10th to both of them. And Anthony doesn't, right? And that's fine. Of course it is.
We are also going to come at things from different directions, which is what it is.
Exactly. We also play different armies and enjoy the game different ways, right? So
true.
Except Levy Nids. Levy Nids was the thing that brought us both together.
Thank you, Red Rum, for the super chat. Why isn't there a game system where you play Knights, Flyers, Stormsurgers, Stompers, and so on Kill Team Only Tall? I don't think that's true about Legio Titanicus. I think that's what we're talking about. Apocalypse.
Like, you can play Apocalypse. It's just takes forever, so no one does.
Isn't Apocalypse
Alright.
quite quick? It's just the logistics of Apocalypse.
Yeah,
sucks.
like the logistics of like the game itself is fast, but the logistics of playing it are slow.
Like you have
because
to get everything out and then put it
have
away,
the
right?
space,
Like that's
physical play space, and
yeah. But my understanding is
Apocalypse-
that Apocalypse is actually really fun and actually like a reasonable game, but like the setting up an Apocalypse just fucking blows.
and
is
just
a
like the
lot.
physical moving 2,000 things a turn, right? Is also like the physical like act of
Yeah.
playing the game takes a while, which makes it a non-productive.
The games of Apocalypse at my local store, which they do like several a year at this point, take all day. They take the same amount of time as an RTT to play one game of Apocalypse.
Yeah, I bet they don't even finish. Like
They don't.
I've watched enough casual Hammer games to be like, I'm sure that those don't even get close.
All right, we're gonna go to the next question, or we will never get Innes to sleep tonight.
Please,
Isaac has the next question, which is time to use the Lion into Knights. Still no invuln in melee and no feel no pain means he just murders big knights. Or run a Fade Thirster in Shadow Legion, maybe. I guess we're talking about specific use cases.
those both seem reasonable. The Lion is still really fucking expensive. But it's less impactful to run your Warlord at a Knight Army now. You don't, because you're going to give them the CP anyway. So who cares?
Jason has the next question, which is it better to play a high agency army like elves, or an army that takes the agency out of their filthy elven hands?
I have always fallen on the you should try and do both to the best of your ability. A lot of that is built out of like my come up in 40k, me trying to punch up in spaces where I was just never going to win if we played
smother the shit out of your opponent's ability to play the game.
Yeah,
and make sure you have as much as you can, right?
Right. I was never going to win a 5-turn Warhammer game, right? So like I just didn't play those, and the answer to those problems are the same today. Like if I just started right now, I would definitely be playing the knights that I started with.
Right.
Didn't you start with triple Disco Lord?
Triple Disco, triple Despoiler.
Hell yeah.
30
Right, the
cultists
next
and
question-
Armon.
I won my I top podium my first ever GT with 3 Knights and Space Marines.
See?
3 big Knights and Space Marines. It's a really good way to get in the conversation, and then you can figure out what you're good at from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bearded Horse has the next question, which boils down to: can Mauler Fiends be battle line, please? I assume in Emperor's Children.
Fast 4.
I mean, the longer version of this question is actually something I can be fairly sympathetic to, which is a former Creations of Bile refugee, now an Emperor's Children refugee. That sucks, dude. That's a tough space to be in. Again, I want to reiterate, if you can go to an event and just not play Knights and have them spike you, EC is fucking good right now. Just play EC.
I'm going to answer Isaac's question by saying no, we cannot do a straw poll on combi weapons versus bolters on rhinos.
No,
But the answer
Anthony's
is-
just right. Like you just take Anthony's word.
do the-
Someone asked me if I was going to change anything in the World Users list that I'm playing. I'm like, no, Anthony sent it to me.
That is a totally reasonable and actually the thing you should do.
I'm like, I keep saying that. I'm like, everything that I think is wrong with this list, I'm just playing it wrong, and I'm going to get there, and that's fine.
Yes,
I
correct.
keep being like, I can't screw my backfield. Why can I not screw my back? Oh, he has Inceptors. I should just stop trying.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but you have.
And then I
you
ran
have-
at his home objective, and he took mine, but I had his, and it was
Dude,
fine. We got 18-2.
If
I was like-
someone can solve the jackals, you were never fixing it in list design. If someone can solve the 10 jackals that are guarding your home field, there's no amount of fuckery you were going to do in a World Leaders list to solve that problem. We don't have infiltrators. So you just put the jackals back there. It takes, turn to take it +1 because of Snicky. Good enough.
Yep.
All right. Next
Like I
question
said, every
is:
time I'm like, I should change a thing in this. I'm like, Anthony wouldn't change it. He'd just do it differently.
Yeah.
How would I do it if I was Anthony? And then I solved the problem, and it worked most of the time.
Yeah, you spend enough time around me, you pick it up by osmosis.
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's just apply chain swords to the men.
Yeah, dude, that shit was good. That was good enough for Danny to win a GT this weekend. It's good. Works.
All right. Sean has the next question, which is: how are we feeling about GW having killed off Subfactions this far into 10th? Did GW kill off Subfactions? Is that a thing that happened?
Dude,
Detachments are really
so
like
much prefer the
Subfactions.
I
Like, what are we talking about?
I don't think there are. Like they kind of are, but they don't like change what I don't know. They're like I think they're different in that space.
Sure. I think Subfactions and Detachments are very similar things. I don't know.
It felt
What
like
it's-
Subfactions gave you a reason to take a thing, whereas Detachments, you just pick whatever detachment is going to buff the shit that's already good.
I don't think that's strictly true.
That was how it feels to me.
There are definitely
I don't think that's
some books
unfair.
that feel like that, but there are also some books that are like, hey, this thing that's almost there, this detachment gives you like an incentive to make it good. And if
I-
that thing works in the metagame, right, like Chaos Cults or shit like that, right?
It's like basically just Marines that do that. Chaos
I
Cults
think-
take ACDC and make them functional again after 8 nerfs, but that's a different
Like-
thing.
Yeah. I think there are a few,
Yeah.
like GSC can be good for it. I think NIDS does a decent job of this until Sub Assault came out and just smothered all of the development options in the crib.
Yeah.
I'm
there are-
also going to be honest with you. If you read Ashley in this YouTube chat, it basically summarizes it. Like they just released 3 subfaction specific things from Space
Dude,
Marines.
Can I be honest here and say I'm just holding out for the Iron Hands one? I cannot
There's a
wait to see.
We've got 2 more on tap. We've
I
gotten 2 of them.
saw-
We're gonna wait and get 2 more. Iron
So-
Hands and White Scars.
So the first time that I saw like the Forge Father whatever and then the Raven Guard one, and the first message I sent to Lennon was, "Hey man, is it over?" Like cuz they buffed the other 2. It does not bode well. Like, you know that idiot Iron Hands stick is going to be like 7 attacks at 633 or some dumb shit.
Yeah. The ankle breaker, he's gonna have anti-ankles 2+. Anything with ankles.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I want.
Infantry walker monster.
Infantry walker, yep. Anti-ankle 2+.
All right, we're gonna keep going, otherwise we're never getting out of here. But yes, the second part of that was we're going to ignore Marines, but Marines are the obvious case study of the example that you gave in your
You can't
question.
ignore Marines. Too many people have painted
Like,
too many
how
people
do
have
you
painted their Space
ignore
Marines with pretty colors to
the-
get rid of them now.
if somebody says 2 + 2 = 4, but ignore 4,
Well,
like
this is an example of the thing I was saying earlier, where it's like Marines do get special treatment in 40k. Marines get special treatment in 40k because we like playing 40k, and the game doesn't work without Marines. So
yeah, the faction that represents 73% of Games Workshop's internal revenue
yeah,
is
fucking
probably
be
gets
cool.
to be different.
Yeah, it's all right that Space Marines get a little favoritism,
Yeah.
mostly.
Look, they sold 18,000 Hammerfall bunkers yesterday, and that's why there's a Drakari release.
Yeah, sure. That's correct.
fair. All right, Rickard has the next question. Ben Jurek is obviously a better player than I am. What would the betting odds have to be for you to bet on me finishing higher in best faction Titan Legions? 10-1, 1,000 to 1. Shut up, Rickard. We all want to go to bed.
Look, at 1,000 to 1, I'll stick a buck on it. Like, what's the downside, right? It'd be really
You know what?
funny, and then I'll pay someone 500 quid to stop Ben making LVO. Like,
Yeah.
I will honestly, we can do what we've done before with guessing dates for things. Like, why don't we just bet donations to donations to food shelves. There it is. Thanks,
I'm
Brian,
not
for
doing
coming
that
out
for,
with
I'm
the
not
words
doing
that I
that for
needed.
Rickard. I don't want to be mean to Rickard about how functional I think his chances of doing better than Ben at LVO are. But it is important to remember that Ben did go 5-1 last year and almost make top cut. He was one person away from dropping away from making it. So, and him being a good friend
All right.
and messaging the person who made it in above him to come back to the venue for him not making top cut. So
Mhm.
we like Ben.
All
We
right.
don't want to, and we like Rickard. So let's not be mean to either of them.
True. Cameron asks, when can we find a person in the show that hates World Eaters as much as Anthony hates T-Suns and Eldar?
I mean, I don't even hate Eldar. I like Eldar, but I just think the way that they, again, this is actually true of T-Suns also. Like, I just think that the way
Design direction of those armies is an abomination, and
not even an abomination. I just think that any army that's just like, my opponent might as well not be here. In my mind palace, when I use all my smarts to do all the smart,
just to confirm, Anthony,
you-
this is basically how you feel when you play the Juggerlord in 20, though, right?
No, I do not feel that way because it goes in and kills them and then explodes. Like all of those armies are just like they like shoot mind beams at the board until you might as well not be there. That's the part that drives me nuts.
Mhm.
I hate solitaire in a 2-player game. I just don't like. I hate anytime that happens. I don't like it when boards are too dense, and I just like... That's why I don't like sweeping in Dawn, right? To use the same example about a melee army, right? The reason I don't like sweeping in Dawn is not because, like, it's, like, shooting favored. I think it's stupid that the way I like to play those to play the game is too way overly favored on those things, to the point that it's like a detriment to that playstyle existing at all.
I also think it's funny because I don't think Anthony is the biggest hater of Eldar. I think that's actually Jeremy.
I mean, before he owned them, it was Innis.
True. We all are that way. We all hate the things.
I'm still
we
that for
are
orcs.
the
I
things.
can carry one torch, but
Yeah.
not two.
Are the actually only hated faction from?
I actually don't even like Eldar that much. I do like Yunari. I'm happy to go down and say that I think the
Yunari's
Yunari are really cool and that Eldar suck.
Next question is from Floof, which is how late is too late to add a question to the list. Whenever I decide to stop asking
Now,
them an answer.
if you add another question now, it's getting answered next week.
All right, Floof has made the cutoff, so I'm sorry, Goran, you don't get your question.
No, Goran
answered.
gets the question. But
Fine.
are World Eaters Mall of Fiends here to stay? They
I think
still seem
so.
pretty good. I
They're a
don't see
really
any
good
reason
data
to
sheet.
necessarily cut them if you want to play with them.
Yeah. They're good. I think they're just like, they're one of the few things in World Eaters that are like, this is going to sound weird to say, they're one of the few things in World Eaters that are like costed correctly. Like they're one of the only things I think, besides like Jackals, that just like shouldn't change. Just like leave it how it is.
They're not too cheap. They're not too expensive. They just do.
Nailed
they
it.
do exactly what it says on the tin. And if you want that job done, they are a perfectly serviceable unit to do it.
They dunk elite infantry and vehicles and monsters like that. You know, elite infantry up well. That's it. But like, they're good. If that's the meta, like if we go into like an EC meta, you'll probably want those fucking idiots. They're good.
Yep.
Them with
All right,
-1
guys.
damage survive an infractor squad. 8-bound, do not.
All right, Nathan.
That is
I
the
think
end
it's
of the
time for you to do your
questions.
bit.
So we're going to go over to the Cult of the High Five callouts. If you join the Chris Pie 5 tier on Patreon, you get to get shouted out at the end of every episode, whether it's me, Innis, or whoever is on the show gets to do it. You also get a number of in-person benefits that are detailed on it. It's $15 a month for that tier. Here we go. Thank you to Christopher, Captain, my Captain, Irvine. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke. Harridan's taking the subway, McCarthy. Thank you to David. Luck has, need keeps, toil earns. Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John V8 Gang. I'm not list spiraling. You're list spiraling. Thank you to Cam F. Dan, Morton, Hog Emoji, Hog Emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Oh, you mean Kimura's favorite princess or whatever it is. Thank you to Josiah Gattle. Thank you to Frankie. Okay, I'm done with this meta now. Can someone please do something, please? Like, really, I'm super serious. ... Thank you to Isaac. GW really gonna Valor on my Shrike, huh? This is a reference to Kavan Shrike as a joke. If you didn't get it, as I am very clever, Dorana. Thank you to I'm too tired of Death Guard to be funny this week. Sorry. Thank you to Thomas. Innis, you might not want to read the second tab for equation. Thank you to Steven. The only reason I run 4-up invulns on every data sheet is to save on mental load Ross. Thank you to Tom, Wooden Spoon winner, H. Thank you to my beloved House Raven has returned, so Lord forgive me, but it's time to go back to the old time. Thank you to how cool is that one box of Horus Heresy Assault Marines makes 10 Van Vets. Thank you to, I was going to put a weekly sponsor joke, but have you all seen the fan fiction tab? Christ, Ashley, ...
I'm not.
Thank you to come with
I'm
me
not.
on a Gucci adventure trademark. Thank you to Stat Check Beach episode when, and thank you to Let's Peer Pressure Anthony into taking Kroot Hunting back as his second army.
Only if Brian's at the tournament will Anthony play Tau.
No. I almost said something that immediately had horrible repercussions. Never mind.
All right. And on that note, bye-bye.
Close the show.
Wait, hold on. I was
Innis.
reading the fan fiction.
Innis, God damn it.
And